Can you see how many people are watching?
28 viewers.
No.
28
so
viewers.
far. Ba-ba-da-ba, Can you guys check the stream and make sure it's working right? Hey, everyone out in the stream land, is the audio fine? Video good?
I think it's fucking recording.
I'm not interested in whether or not it could be better. I just want it to work. Alright.
Let's see what we got here.
Couldn't be worse. That's what I like to hear.
Alright, I got a commercial.
Okay.
Oh, you got people talking to you in the chat, so they can probably tell you too.
Yeah. Alright. Welcome everyone to the 2011 World Mario Championships. Starting right on time at 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific. We will now commence the pre-game show. We're going to start with interviewing LordofDabu.ns, last year's 2010 World Mario Champion. Lord of Dabu, as last year's champion, what's your game plan this year?
Just to play my normal game. Just straight up pure Mario. No tricks, no secrets. Just pure gameplay.
What exactly do you mean by pure gameplay?
Exactly what I said. I mean, I'm just relying purely on Mario instinct.
Mario Instinct. Fascinating. For this next question, I'm going to shoot it over to my co-caster, Wonder Boy.
Hey there, Mr. Dabu. Of your competitors, who do you fear the most?
I fear Goose the most. I think he's probably the best out of the other players. Mind you, I've never actually seen him play, but just from his reputation alone, I think he's the one I have to fear.
Can you think of one specific fact from his reputation that makes you fear him?
The fact that he's a goose but is able to climb mountains and beat video games.
That's terrifying. You're absolutely right. Actually, I don't mean to editorialize here and take sides, but this goose sounds ferocious.
Dude, I'm a little scared. But the thing is, I'm not sure a goose has Mario instincts. So I'm not sure how seriously he'll be able to fight this. I think in that regard I should be the better player. But we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Dabu, over the past few weeks, you've gained a reputation on TeamLiquid.net as the bad boy of Mario 2011 World Championships. What do you have to say to your fans, and more importantly, your anti-fans?
I was not aware that I had gathered such a poor reputation. I certainly don't deserve it, so I don't know why people are thinking about me that way. It's probably just someone spreading rumors who doesn't know the real Dabu.
That's a cop-out if I've ever heard one. Finally.
I call them like they are. I'm just straight up. I don't try and dodge around the questions, I just say what I think.
Finally, it appears that Sonic is not here in time to play. Do you think he's scared? Did he get cold feet? What do you think happened?
I think he's probably scared. That's true, but I think he will show up. He did say he was going to be a little bit late today.
Thank you. This now concludes the Lord of Dabu player interview. Next is Shox.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
I'm moving you out of the chat. Welcome, GhostShocks, to the pre-game player interview portion of this year's World Mario Championships.
Thank you. It's very good to be here. I obviously wasn't part of the competition last year, but this year I am. And I really can't tell you how excited I am to be a part of it.
We're going to start this time with a question from my co-caster, Wonderboy.
So, I'm sure you've been practicing nonstop for this really, really big day. What do you focus on the most when you're practicing?
When I'm practicing, it's mostly efficiency and patience. Generally, when playing video games, I'm a very impatient person, so patience is key when playing in a competition like this. As long as I play well and I play patient, I think I have the ability to win it all. I just don't want to get to the position where I get behind and I start feeling rushed and I feel like I have to beat the level as quick as possible, when I could be focusing more time on getting as many lives as possible for the harder levels.
Now, Shax, everybody knows that in StarCraft, your skill is a product of both your macro and your micro. A lot of people criticize the platforming genre as being too micro-oriented. What do you have to say about that?
Those people just honestly don't really understand the game if they say that, because there's so much to Mario. Of course, micro is very important. You obviously want to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. Micro-wise, you want to make sure you kill all the enemies that you can. But macroing is very important. You want to make sure you have as many lives as you can. Coins, don't seem very important as you're coming across them, but they add up. And when you get to a really hard level, like that really hard ghost house or something, and you have a bunch of lives, and your opponent has not been focusing on the macro management, and he or she only has a few lives, and they get a game over while you get many attempts at the level, it really has a difference on the outcome of the game.
I think a lot of our viewers were able to learn a lot from that spiel. I asked Dabu to touch on this briefly, and I'm also interested to hear your opinions. Our fourth competitor, SSJ4 Sonic, is currently not here in time to play. What do you think the issue is? Do you think he's afraid?
I've known Sonic for many years. I don't think he would be one to step down from a challenge, so I don't think so, but I know that he is not confident in his Mario skills, so if he feels that he's going to lose, then maybe he just won't show up. That could very well be it. So yeah, he could very possibly be afraid.
That's really interesting. I heard that you may have said you two may have had some words about this competition. Can you what are these words that some of the sort of smack talk that's been going on? What's that doing to your mindset?
Well, it's no secret that me and Sonic are the two most competitive people in this Vent channel. We compete against each other, even if we're playing cooperative games. We often get into arguments, fights. We may not talk for a few days. As far as me, I like to pride myself on mental toughness, so I do not mind getting into those arguments. Honestly, I view myself as the Michael Jordan of this Vent server. I can get into those arguments, I can get into people's heads, and it's no big deal. Now the others, they might not have that same mentality. They might get offended by my words, they might let myself get into their heads, and then, they just can't play as well. And by the way, the stream is offline on Team Liquid.
Oh, well, I don't have the login for that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think that trash talking will greatly benefit me rather than Sonic.
Alright, can you or Dabu... let me close up over your window. Are you able to turn it live on Team Liquid?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Finally, finishing dead last in the poll for what the public thought the first place recipient, finalist, finisher in this competition would be. You clearly have something to prove tonight. As the overwhelming underdog here, what do you have to say to your fans, and more importantly, your anti-fans?
Well, historically, in any competition that I've been a part of, I've always been the underdog. I like to keep myself under the radar and be an unknown, because I think people tend to fear the unknown the most. I mean, we know Dabu. Everybody's seen Motor Dabu play Mario, and we all know his play style. But nobody has seen me play Mario, and they don't know my play style, so they have no idea what they're going to be up against. I like being the underdog because people don't know what to expect, and I always play up to my competition. So I'm feeling very good about it. To my fans, thank you very much thus far. You guys have given me a lot of support. It's nice to go out in public and be greeted by fans that are just cheering me on, and feel really good about that. To my anti-fans, just watch the next few hours and see me at about, midnight Central Time. You might see me be the 2011 Mario World Champion.
That's all we've got for Shocks Now. You can find out more at his Down Cafe at www.cafe.down.co.kr. Please note that you must be able to speak Korean. Thank you. Welcome, Goose, to the commentator's booth. Are you prepared for your interview?
Yeah, what's up?
Goose, as by far the most unknown player in this year's World Mario Championships, a lot of people are wondering, who exactly is Goose, and how can a non-mammal compete on this level? What do you have to say about this?
Well, you see, I cut the webbing off of my feet so that I can use the controller using my feet. And I am actually a Canadian goose.
Interesting. So this must be an interesting kind of maybe inconvenient time of year for you to be competing in this tournament. I mean, what's the migratory season like?
Well, I should be migrating now, but because I cut the webbing off my feet to play video games, it's impossible.
Wow, it sounds like you're really dedicated to this competition. Now, in the polls on the TeamLiquid.net topic for who would be the 2011 World Mario Champion, you finished head and shoulders above the rest of the competitors in a landslide first place. Now, surely this has to do a lot for your confidence, but at the same time, do you think that this puts more pressure on you than the other competitors?
There is more pressure on me, but I am glad that I have their love.
Whoa, no one said anything about love.
Goose, people just have mad love for Geese, like automatically. Like Goose from Top Gun, mad love for Goose from Top Gun.
That actually acts as a really good segue, because I wanted to ask, if we were to view this competition as the beach ball scene from Top Gun, of course you being Goose, where would you place your competitors? Which characters would they play?
Okay, let me think. Alright, I'm thinking, since Dabu is really the only one that I know, he has to be Maverick. I'm trying to, I think maybe Sonic would be Iceman. And I don't remember who the other guys were in that movie.
Much like Shocks.
Well, that kind of fits, because no one really knows who Shocks is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we all know the tragedy that happens to Goose in Top Gun. Do you feel that you might have a similar fate? How are you going to avoid this?
Well, that might be the problem. There might be a failed ejection scene within this competition, but I will have the benefit of the doubt because I will have banged young Meg Ryan.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Who have the other people banged? I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Maverick gets to bang that other chick. She's like the main character chick. I forget who she is.
Alright, now, a lot of people have expressed, well, clearly, you being the forerunner in the who will win the Mario World Championship thread, everybody thinks that you're the overdog here. However, you also have a lot of dissenters, people who think that a goose shouldn't be allowed to compete in the same competition that mammals compete in. What do you have to say to them?
I say that me being a waterfowl automatically qualifies me to compete in any competition that I desire.
Alright. Now finally, I asked Shocks and Dabu about this, but it's now almost 20 minutes past the projected start time, and Sonic is still missing in action. Do you think he's scared, or what do you think the story is here?
He's probably just engaged in some sort of mad training exercise right now, and he's not finished,
Oh, yeah, probably like the time when Goku was flying to Namek to collect the Dragon Balls, and he was training in 100 times gravity, and then the ship went through a magnetic storm, and it went haywire, and he ended up being totally depleted of strength, and he had to spin around hanging from the rope in order to get the Senzu beans to get his strength back in order to get out of it. So you're saying something like that has happened?
He's probably in the hyperbolic time chamber with Master Popo training as we speak.
Alright, well thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alright, I've brought our 3 present competitors into the commentator's booth to go over the rules, regulations, and such as I stall for Sonic. This is a blind run of the SMB3X hacked ROM. That means that none of the competitors has played the levels that they are about to play ever before. Each of the competitors has put up $20,000 of his or its own money into the pot, making an $80,000 pot, winner take all. There will be a halftime intermission after 90 minutes of gameplay. And we will touch base with some of the competitors at that point to hear their thoughts on the competition so far. Final words. Let's go. The order will be Shocks, Goose, Dabu. Anything you have to say to your hundreds of thousands of adoring fans, this is your window.
Alright, well, I'd like to wish you both the best of luck. I think we can just conclude that Sonic's not going to be showing up out of fear, so this may end up being a 3-man competition. But if he does show up, let's smash him together.
Next.
I wish the best of luck to my 2 competitors as well. If Shocks makes it, that'll be 3. And I encourage everybody to spread their wings and fly.
Wait, no, Shocks is right here. I'm Shocked.
Oh, right, Sonic, that's what I meant.
Trash talking.
I'm sorry.
I would also like to wish good luck to my fellow competitors. And I would like to thank all my fans out in the audience for taking time out of their Thursday night to come watch. I'll be splitting some of my 80K with you guys, don't worry.
It's pretty cocky. Now,
I'll be the one. I will be the one banging the hot girl.
Adieu, Meg Ryan.
Alright, now I'm going to ask the three of you to retire to your respective locker rooms, and I'm going to touch base with the fans.
Alright, sounds good.
Hello, Tempest.
Hi, Pierre.
This is unplanned, but I hope you'll be okay with it. I want to touch base with kind of the audience perspective on how the 2011 World Mario Championships is the best sporting event of the year.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Excellent, excellent. Now, so in the poll on the TeamLiquid.net thread for who would be the 2011 World Mario Championships champion, Goose finished far above the rest, receiving easily 2 times as many votes as the rest of the competitors combined. Are you a Goose fan, or do you think that a lot of people are crazy?
Oh, I think definitely everyone's crazy. Polls usually don't mean anything. They are just a popular opinion.
Interesting. Then, in your opinion, who is the person we need to keep our eye on in this competition?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's Sonic because he's not showing up. So it's going to be between Dabu and Shucks. And since Dabu was the champion last year, I would put my money on him.
What makes you? Why do you just take Goose out of this so quickly? What makes you not like Goose?
Well, it's pretty hard to play a video game without any thumbs. I'm sure it was already a previous topic. I mean, he can't make it happen, but it would be a disadvantage for him.
He did mention, I just want to make sure you're aware of this, he did mention that he clipped the webbing on his feet so that he would be able to more dexterously play Mario tonight. Does this change your opinion at all?
It would help, but he would still be at a disadvantage. Because the control pad was designed for our human hands.
That's a really good point.
I worry about his health as a Goose, though, afterward. How is he going to swim around in lakes and such?
Well, he's putting a lot into this. Let's hope if he wins, it would be a very good story. But if he loses, he wouldn't. I would still respect him.
Yeah, he's got his whole bankroll on this.
That's true. A lot of people think that Shocks might have acted a little rash entering this tournament, in that the $20,000 he put up was literally the last of his rent and tuition money, and if he doesn't win this competition, not only will he be unable to complete his college education, but he will also be homeless. Do you think this desperation is going to propel him over the edge?
Well, Goose also clipped his feet, so Shocks was is pretty young, and he was a prodigy. I'm sure he's gonna have a future regardless of the result.
A lot of people have said that because of Dabu's enormous brain, nobody can outthink him, and in a game that's just as much about strategy and tactics as it is about fast reflexes, this can be a huge advantage. Do you think Dabu's enormous brain is going to be an insurmountable attribute for the other challengers to overcome?
I don't think anything's insurmountable. He really didn't win by a large amount last year, and he won in areas that require his large brain, but he's also getting old, so I'm sure his hand-eye coordination would be behind in terms of, would be behind the other competitors, especially young guys like Shock.
So, Shocks being Shocks sounds like a really reactive play style. How do you think that's going to play in? How do you think his reactive style is going to help him to do the best he can do?
He's lacking experience, so I don't think it's a very useful play style. He would have to. If he ever falls behind someone like Dabble or Sonic, it would be very tough for him to catch up, and he might just choke under pressure.
And there he is. Sonic makes his appearance. Thank you very much, Tempest, for sharing your wisdom with us tonight.
You're very welcome. Best of luck going for competitors.
Hey, when you're ready, I'd like to interview you.
Alright, do it.
Alright, now... so first of all, the one thing that's on everyone's mind tonight is that Goose appears to be an overwhelming fan favorite, having finished far ahead of everybody else in the polling on the TeamLiquid.net thread. Are you intimidated by this, or do you think a lot of people don't know what they're talking about?
At first, he was one of those players that I didn't take seriously. I mean, he was unknown. He just came into the tournament. He doesn't actually have the experience needed. But then, as the days went by and the polling results came in, and Goose was leading overwhelmingly, I had to relook at this player. I had to see him in a new light. And then when Dabu released his picture, and it showed that he actually had the experience to back it up, the competitive experience, especially in the Mario field. It basically put me at a disadvantage. I came into it as the favorite, but now I think I'm going into it as the underdog.
So Sonic, people have become sort of critical of your live life in the fast lane, no holds barred playstyle. What do you have to say to these fans? Or anti-fans?
I think my style has always been unorthodox. It's how I've always approached video games and how I've lived my life. And I think I'm not going to change it for anybody. And I'm going to continue how I do.
Alright, now I'm sure a lot of people want to get to the action, so we're going to wrap it up with this last question here. You are the 2010 World Mario runner-up. A lot of people think you have something to prove here tonight. What are we going to see?
You're going to see a change. The last championship, if you guys remember, I was clearly the favorite. I was leading the whole tournament, and it was just that unfortunate one little hookup that really put me out of the running. And this year, I came into it with a whole new mindset. I was approaching it with a mindset that I'm not going to take any stages lightly or any field lightly. Ghost houses, I'm going to kick their ass.
Those are fighting words. Thank you. Also, which stream are you going to use?
Let me give you my stream.
Alright.
It's livestream.com/freechovy. I'm going to use it. Alright, I'm going to go back to I still need to lace on my boot.
Alright, for all the fans, I'm just going to quickly update the OP with that stream link. And then we're going to begin.
the atmosphere here, ladies and gentlemen, it's everyone's on edge. People are going nuts. Just going nuts.
For those who don't know, I don't think it was mentioned yet, but the live audience joining us in Minneapolis for the live viewing of this championship, the audience is going crazy right now. There are hundreds of thousands of fans turned out for the stadium, and it's a packed house. Unfortunately, we don't have any live video of it, or audio.
As the players make their way to their boxes, they're being just mauled by fans. Just mauled.
All right. Hey, so let's start. Is everyone ready?
Well, give me like 5 minutes. Let me just finish my.
Okay, I'm gonna go back in the commentators booth, and when you guys are ready, come in. You should all be able to come in.
You guys are ready. Come in.
You should all be able to come in.
You should all be able to come in. What do you want us to do?
No, I got it. Well, I'll tell him.
So, Peter, as a former player, now caster, your knowledge is going to be huge. What do you think is going to be the key strategies here?
Well, I think the most important thing for all of the competitors to keep in mind this year is it's really the ghost houses. Now, everybody remembers last year when Sonic had a huge lead, and then he got stuck in the ghost house for a really long time, ended up getting a game over there, and Dabu was able to make up a ton of ground and eventually, at the last minute, overtaking. It was a really exciting conclusion. I'm sure everybody's replaying that one in their minds right now. So I think the ghost houses are going to be really important. You got to get a handle on the ghost houses right away. Second of all, the most important, now this is a blind run, so nobody knows what any of the levels involve. It's really important to find a place where you're going to be able to farm extra lives should you need to, because game overs are very, very real, very possible occurrences, and if you have a certain part of a stage where you know you can get an extra life, that's going to do a lot in terms of being able to build up a little cushion of extra lives so that this game you can go a little bit farther.
Now, Dabu being the reigning champion, should he win again, bonjour?
Interesting. That's an interesting word to bring up. Everyone in the hype thread this year has been saying that.
Really?
They've been saying that if he wins, it will be undeniably bonjour. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, when everybody moves up here, we'll be ready.
I don't know if Goose knows the password for this.
No, he doesn't need to know it.
He should be fine since I dragged him up here before.
Bring him up again.
He's not going to be able to move.
No,
So we're gonna go in the player room.
Whatever.
Been up here,
I just dragged him.
Alright. So I guess you can move us to the players booth once we start. Can you do that for us?
Yeah.
Is Goose ready? Is Goose ready?
Yeah, is everyone ready?
Goose is
I'm
not
ready.
yet.
Is Goose ready?
Goose, I'm ready. We're ready. Goose, are you ready?
Oh, he's not ready.
He keeps leaving the channel.
Well, I mean, he's still working on stuff. He's got stuff going on over there.
Well, I mean, it's okay.
I'm dragging you in here.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you pull the Mario game up, Goose? I'm gonna tell you to start, and then I'll put you all in the. Okay.
Here it is. Here it is.
Yes, sir.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
And the crowd is destroying its throats.
Alright, now, just so everyone's clear, we've got Goose in the upper left corner of the screen, Shocks in the upper right, Dabu in the bottom left, and Sonic in the bottom right. So, let's start things off here. Let's bring up Dabu's stream for a minute and just watch how he handles the first level.
Ooh, that was an interesting choice. Trying to get
Small already.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, one thing that the viewers out there should know is that being small isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes being small can get you through tight little gaps that being big would preclude you from, and also it makes it easier to dodge projectiles when you're smaller.
Absolutely.
And he's got to get the timing just right on this jump. He's got to jump over the fireball that the top one's... Oh, and he sticks it.
That was really well done. You could tell that he was really taking a lot of time with this. He's seen this before. He knows it. Oh,
but he doesn't take his time there.
Doesn't take his time on that one.
Right into the piranha plant.
I can't. It doesn't stream.
Alright. Oh, and down here in the bottom right, this is Sonic Stream. It looks like he was able to find a secret.
Ooh.
And now he's got the firepower. He's going to advance through this fairly easily with the firepower.
Yeah, now it's going to be really tough for these other players unless they find the firepower themselves. Well, I guess he just lost it, but he got a lot of time out of it, and they're going to have to find some sort of secret to get themselves caught up. Now Goose here, it looks like he found some star power.
Goose is making terrific progress here. Warp portal. What the hell? Looks like Goose really is keeping his namesake, and he's flying through this competition so far. He found some kind of warp portal. This is really interesting. I want to watch him for a little bit.
Oh, he's fighting against the geese.
Oh, his kin. His next... Oh, look. He's got geese from the sky to help him. Now, these wooden stakes will kill him if he lands on them, so he's got to ride...
Oh.
Jumps right onto one.
Yeah.
I think you've got to ride the geese there and hop from one to the next. He's in the sky. That's a new world. I wonder if our other competitors are going to find the sky. Alright, let's check in with Shox here. Now, Shox has that firepower we were talking about earlier. Now, the advantage is that he doesn't have to be graceful at all. He can just power his way through this.
Yeah.
Now, here's that piranha plant that Dabu died on. No problem for Shox. Now, ooh,
really good play.
Now, he's being so cautious here. He's waiting to see if that piranha will appear again before trying to advance past it.
And that's where people are really critical about Shox's style. He's so reactive, but when he gets those fireball powers, he's got to be aggressive. He's got to really go after it.
Picks up the power mushroom.
Goombas just flies past him, no problem.
This guy is showing his chops.
Yeah, he knows he's taking the lead on the cat. Oh, never mind.
Oh, that menacing Koopa. Oh, no problem. It looks like he's going to get up into the sky.
Now, see, this is the warp portal that he found.
All right. And so Shox joins Goose up in the sky.
Goose no longer there.
Oh, Goose. Maybe did he get a game over? I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to look for an alternate route. Let's go back and check in with Dabu again. Dabu, you'll notice he only has 2 extra lives right now, but he is in the sky level 1.
Oh.
I wonder if he's thinking to himself, all these geese flying around, this is unfriendly territory for me. But I bet it's easy goings for Goose.
Wow.
Now.
Oh, that's trouble.
Interesting.
Yeah, he decides to kill that goose. I think it might be important.
He's kicking himself now for killing that goose instead of riding it.
Really strong strategy there. Just taking one for the team and just passing up those pointy spikes.
Let's see what he can do here. Oh, I bet he wishes he still had that Koopa shell right now. He could have gotten what was in that question mark block.
No, the Shy Guys are always causing trouble. Star power.
It'll be interesting to see if that star power is required for something here. Yeah, he's making haste because he knows it's possible that there's something up here that's unpassable without the star power. Oh, and a mighty leap.
Great jump. And that's just Michael you can't really teach. You can tell he's a natural.
Ooh!
There's not a lot of room for error with that.
Small gap between the giant piranha plant and the edge of the cliff, and he manages to ride it. Now he's small. It feels like there can't be too much left of this level. Is he going to be able to finish it out? Oh, and he goes through the tube without exploring that little platform that was above. Ah, but he does successfully finish the level. And Shocks at the bonus. Let's see. This is still that first level. So Shocks is still, we've seen this many times before. Seems that he's probably behind right now. Let's check in with Sonic again. If I can figure out a way to click. Pull this up a little bit.
Perfect. Alright, looks like he'll be getting to that warp portal thing. He'll be hitting up sky level real fast.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, Sonic has 1 extra life right now. Dabu had 2 when he was entering there. And Dabu's up to 3 now on the second sky level. So Dabu, and it looks like Goose is still on the World 5 level 1. So Dabu is taking at least 1 full stage lead in this competition. Oh! That's a game over for Sonic. He's going to have to start back over at the first level.
Now, after Goose, at the start, Goose had a really strong lead. What do you think really pushed him back? I mean, of course, dying, but do you think it was maybe his mindset going into the sky level? Maybe he got a little cocky.
Oh, and a game over for Goose, actually.
Struggling now after that really strong start.
He's going to have to start back at the beginning. I think a big part of it might have been he saw his brethren in the sky, and it should have put him at ease, but for some reason, it burdened him.
I mean, really, he saw his family just acting as slaves for, whoever the bad guy is here, and he felt the need to help.
Yep.
Really set him free.
Yep. Oh, interesting. See, now you can tell Dabu's really displaying his experience in these kind of competitions because he dies in Sky Level 2. And before just immediately restarting it as Little Mario, he goes back to the level he already knows, picks up the mushroom, and then starts the level so that he'll be big. That allows him to start with the firepower from the beginning of this level. And I mean, if this level has defeated Dabu, it's got to be tough. So I think he's going to need everything, all the tools in his belt, if he's going to be able to conquer this one.
Oh, that's a tricky Koopa, man.
Wow. So many fireballs. Man, you can tell this guy wants that 80,000. That's the only thing he's thinking about right now. $80,000. Sometimes I wonder, what are all these platforms doing there? Like, when Mario's not around, what's the purpose? Who's the architect? Ooh, this is going to be a difficult obstacle to pass. I wonder how he's going to try it. Ooh, he takes some damage.
Takes damage. Just invincibility's past it.
Such patience. Look at this. He has no problem just standing right there and waiting.
I mean, this is just class. that we haven't. It's unprecedented. We haven't seen this from any of the other competitors so far. He's in his own. He's in his own level right here.
Ooh. They're swarming.
Oh.
Some damage.
Wow.
He's little. Any false step could end his run.
Oh! There it goes.
He's going to have to start back over from the beginning of the level. Let's see where everyone else is.
What's really, really important here for Dabu now is like he made the mistake. Can he learn from it? Can he fix his mistakes? Because you only get so many tries here.
Well, one important thing to keep in mind is that Dabu now, he's only got the one extra life here. So if he dies again, he's going to have a game over, and he'll have to complete the first level and then do the first level of the Sky World again. Up here, we've got Goose. Oh, it looks like he just lost a life. But he's on the first level of the Sky World, but he's got 4 extra lives. So if he can finish it here, he'll have a 3-life lead on Dabu. But that's precision. He knew exactly where that was.
Absolutely.
This guy eats, drinks, breathes, and lives this game.
And, you know, with these build order openings and stuff, like these people practice these just over and over and over again. They know right where they want to go. They know right where they want to be. They're trying to set themselves up for that mid game.
Ooh. And Goose jumps down the little hole. Everyone should keep in mind that they have never played these levels before, though.
I'm ready to see him really take hold of it. This spot has bested him a few times. There we go.
See, he's learned.
Yep.
He learned from the first time when he killed the geese. This time he rode them.
See if he holds on to it to get to that block.
He does.
Nice.
He wants that firepower.
That's going to be strong. That's going to be really strong here.
Ooh, he slaughters the geese without a second thought.
And it's just so hard sometimes to figure out, you know, is that goose my friend? Is that goose my foe?
Because you can't tell just by looking.
No.
You have to judge by their behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's making great progress here. He's got the firepower. He's nearing the end of the level. I think he's in good shape. Oh, and with that coin, he's able to pick up 100. That gives him an extra life. He's got 4 extra life now.
That's strong. Those coins really, really add up.
A lot of people think that this game is responsible for a lot of the greed and selfishness in society. You know, with coins, gold coins being valued as the most precious thing. But this is just an honest plumber doing an honest day's work. And everyone thinks he should be paid for it. So we've got Goose advancing to the Sky Level 2 with 4 extra lives. He's in good shape. That's the best shape we've seen anyone so far. Oh, wow! But we missed it, but Dabu actually cleared the Sky Level 2.
Alright.
We're seeing the Sky Level 3 for the first time. Oh, and he gets the 100th extra coin, or the 100th coin to put him up to 2 extra lives. So now he's got some buffer.
It looks to me like he just does not want to deal with these fish. He's just trying to get past them. He doesn't want to be around them.
Now, you do get extra points for killing them, but you don't necessarily win favor with the crowd by slaughtering animals like that.
No. Peter is not impressed.
Ooh, it's going to take some grit and determination.
Whoa!
Oh.
He knew.
That's star sense right there.
Yep.
You just got to feel that platform. Notice how he's using the firepower to clear the piranha plants out of the pipes, granting him safe landing every time. Think of how much more difficult it would have been for him if he hadn't had the firepower. That's little attention to detail. That's really what's separating Dabu from the pack right now. Now, a lot of you might be thinking he just passed 2 of those question mark boxes without even checking their contents.
Whoa! He knew something we didn't know.
Wow. I think everyone's impressed by that.
Yeah.
That's a straight up extra life. That's a really big deal. And I think, wow, look at. Sometimes you just have to shut up and just watch an artist.
There it is.
Watch an artist as he crafts his work.
It's cleared. It's cleared. Dabu's really been playing well. He's been really. You can see the training. You can just see it. He's training so hard.
He ignores the Mushroom House, and he's made it to the first castle in the Sky World.
I think he knows that he can really take a stranglehold on this game if he can get past that castle now.
Alright, let's, it looks like Goose is on Sky Level 2. And if we check in with Sonic, last year's runner-up,
still struggling. Looks like he'll be getting to the Sky World here pretty soon.
Here we go.
But he's got his work cut out for him for sure.
Hey, now last year Dabu was behind. He made a big comeback, and maybe Sonic thinks that that's the right strategy, and so he's playing the come from behind card this year.
Absolutely.
And he'll start on Sky Level 1. Let's check in with Shox. Shox has cleared Sky Level 1. He's on to Sky Level 2.
Starting it small here.
Now, here's something that we pointed out earlier, Dabu's technique of starting the Piranha World Level 1 to get the mushroom, to start this world big, so that when he hit that question block, he would get the firepower right away from the beginning of the level. And it seems like either Shox is saying he doesn't need that technique, he's just going to start small, or he just doesn't know that he can do that. And that's where the size versus age versus fear factor comes into play.
I mean, maybe he just knows he just doesn't have the time right now.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like, he knows he's got ground to make up, and as much as he'd want to, he just can't do it.
Need one of those cookies.
Yeah, he can have a cookie.
Ooh. Looks like he wants to do it small. Now we notice, hopefully people will remember when Dabu played, he can't avoid the fire and he dies. Now Dabu had firepower saved up there, so he was able to waltz right through. And we see Shox start again, little, instead of farming the mushroom from the, and already he's small. This doesn't look good. Ooh.
I can tell he's feeling the pressure. He's really feeling the pressure. Now, how does he deal with this pressure?
We're going to see. Now, the 2011 World Mario Championships, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're only, we're about half hour into it now. Lot of time left. Lot of time left. If Dabu gets a game over, he's right back at the beginning. So, I mean, you don't win it in the practice, you win it in the preparation, and I think Shox is trying to show that right now.
Yeah, in this next half hour, we're going to be transitioning into that mid-game. And, you go into it with a solid game plan, and this is where we're going to see their game plans really start to show. They're gonna it'll start to make itself evident. Getting through this fire, I'm gonna be really impressed.
Oh, he does it!
Yeah. Wow. Didn't have to lose a life. Didn't need anything.
Adaptation. That's adaptation. Now we remember Dabu was very patient here. He waited about forever. And is he gonna? And he gets through. Ooh.
Oh, careful!
Such daring play. He's going to have to hop onto one.
It's like he's on a tightrope right now, There's just very little room for error. Oh my! That was impressive. Only the best in this competition right now.
Oh, what an impressive display.
The crowd was going nuts. The crowd went absolutely crazy for that move.
Unbelievable. You can hear them roaring behind us, I think. And I think with more plays like that, Shocks might be the player to beat in about an hour. We'll see. Alright, let's go and...
What's up with Goose here? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe technical difficulties, I don't know. Oh, but let's look at Dabu. Wow. I don't even want to know what level he's on. Oh, well, judging by the Triceratops is on the platforms, he's probably still on the Skyworld Fortress. Oh, and he slays them.
Course clear.
So, another notch in Dabu's belt. I think he'll be moving on to Skyworld number 4 at this point. Yep.
Look at this. Oh, I thought he was... There he goes.
He does decide.
The patience.
He opts for the Mushroom House.
He knows that he's been playing well, and he probably has a little bit of room.
Mm-hmm. The Sky 4. Let's check in with Sonic real quick before we continue to admire Dabu's play. And it looks like
We'll just be finishing one up here.
Sonic is finished. I believe that was Skyworld number 2.
That was my guess as well.
I think it was Skyworld number 2. We'll see in just a moment. Skyworld number 1.
Alright.
So he's about 3 levels behind Dabu. However, it should be noted that he has 73 coins and 6 extra lives. So if he amps it up here, and if he does some work, he's going to be in really good shape going into the long term.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's not just about how far in the game you are right now. It's about
That's
the platform there.
Yeah.
It's not just about how far you are in the game at this moment. It's also about how well equipped you are to take it into the late stages of the game.
Absolutely. These stages aren't going to get easier.
No,
They're not going to get easier.
they just get harder and harder.
Yeah, and you're going to want to be prepared for that.
It's great cookies, by the way.
Really good cookies.
Thank you.
Homemade.
Homemade. Everyone at home, please help yourself to a cookie. Oh, and Sonic dies again. Now he's losing that buffer of extra lives that was really his salvation. It's evaporating.
Now, I've seen a lot of the competitors here struggle with this level. This has been a tough one. So far, it's sort of the ghost house of 2011.
Can you show all 4 streams because everybody's lost?
Yeah.
Including, like, the viewer.
Is it like... Like, is it easily viewable when I have all 4 of them up like this?
Yeah, because, like, you keep switching and nobody understands.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Apparently all of our viewers are morons.
The live audience seems to know exactly what's going on, but they, of course, have 60-inch HD televisions for each stream. Really, we gotta thank our sponsors here. Sweet Martha's Cookies.
Sweet Martha's Cookies, TotalPunishmentGaming.com.
Right. Really, they gave us a great setup here. This stadium's able to hold 400,000 people.
And I think we almost filled it. I think ticket sales put it at about 340,000. So pretty good showing here.
Yeah, be sure to get your tickets to come out here live for next season. The prices, I'm sure, will go down a little bit, but I can't promise anything.
No promises are being made. Alright, so we've got Dabu. He's got 2 extra lives to work with. And, okay, so some of the fans are asking for an update on who's where and who's ahead. So Dabu is Dabu's in the bottom left. He's several levels ahead of everybody else. He already cleared the Skyworld Fortress, and I believe he's on Skyworld level number 4. Let's see. Sonic in the bottom right here, he's on Skyworld number 2. So he's, I believe, 3 levels behind Dabu. Goose has 5 extra lives. He's in great shape, but he is a couple levels behind Dabu. And Shocks, I mean, at this point in the competition, if you see the earth beneath your feet, you're in trouble. It looks like he's on the first world, the first level. And let's see. So we've got Goose here in the upper left. He crosses past the fire stompers with ease. Now everyone will remember that maneuver we saw Shocks pull off earlier when he was little. Oh, and he makes it. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Shocks is on the Sky Fortress. He actually cleared Skyworld number 3 with no trouble. He just went back to the other level to farm an extra life. That shows he's comfortable.
Yep.
He's very comfortable with where he's at. He's not sprinting ahead to try to make up ground. I'm not sure he knows he's behind. But it shows that he's patient.
And patience is going to be really important, not only for, making sure you don't get killed by people, but just for your mentality. It's going to get frustrating, and you got to find a way to just stay in it, not get too frustrated, and do what you got to do to win. You can't get caught up in the emotions.
Wow. And Dabu has cleared not only Skyworld number 4 and number 5, he's on the castle.
I mean, we got flying boats here in the bottom left. Flying boats.
Ooh, and looks like Sonic got a game over, so he has to start all the way from the beginning. I don't know, I feel like at this point, it's a Dabu show.
Now, I really wonder, what do these people know? How far they are behind? Because they sort of have a beat on how good or bad their opponents are. Do you think that Dabu knows that he's in a really, really good position here?
Well, none of the competitors knows how far that the other ones have gotten. So, it's difficult to say. I think that Dabu's probably pretty confident with where he's at, because he's got 5 extra lives, which is what you start with, and he's at the first ship, the first castle, so he's got to be pretty happy with himself. So Dabu's clearly in first place, and he's striding with the strides of a mammoth. Sonic is by far in last place after getting that game over. but game overs are going to happen, and I know, if I know anything, I know he's not going to let it get him down. Middle of the pack, we've got Shocks and Goose. Shocks up here in the upper right, he's only got 1 extra life, and he's on the castle, so he's 2 levels behind Dabu. But since he only has 1 extra life, if he dies again, it's lights out, and he has to start all the way over from the beginning. So he's replaying the first level to get another extra life, so that he can tackle the fortress with no risk.
And that's just integral. It's really, really important to find ways to get those lives so that you can make the mistakes later. Mm-hmm. Give yourself the opportunity to learn from your mistakes and be the better player.
You need a nice cash cushion. Now, however, it's possible if he were to die here, that would be quite embarrassing, because he would get a game over like a puss. But it seems that there's basically... Oh. Interesting. So he's taking a no risk approach to this. He is... So what you can do when you're in a level that you've already beaten is press start and then escape, and you'll just exit the level. So what he's doing is he's collecting coins in a risk-free fashion and then exiting the level. So there's no risk, but it is extremely slow.
Very
He's losing a lot
slow.
of time here, but slow and steady wins the race.
Right, he's getting that really, really strong economic lead, so that he can just surge ahead when it matters.
Let's check in with Goose. Looks like his stream is working. Here in the upper left, so he's tackling Skyworld Fortress number 4. It's just Skyworld Fortress, which is between levels 3 and 4. So after he beats this, he'll have to beat the 4th and 5th level just to get to the stage that Dabu's already at. The same is true for Shocks. So they're both, I guess, 3 stages behind Dabu at this point, and Sonic is very far behind. But don't count him out.
No. Now I'm watching Dabu here, and he's been here before. I believe that he did die once here at the castle level with this flying ship. But I think he might have a handle on it, and I think that he could really get himself into a really good position if he can get past this.
Well, everyone should notice that even though this is not his first time playing this level, he's still got 5 extra lives, which is the same he started at, and that means he's got a bead on where there's an extra life in this level. So as long as he picks up that extra life every time he plays it, then essentially every level is a free shot, because at worst he'll end up with the same amount of extra lives he had when he started.
Just using that cannon is just so well timed. He knows exactly when to catch.
It's got the timings.
You can't overshoot those jumps. Careful. And the flames pose basically no threat to him. He's not worried about it in the slightest. Now I feel like he's got to be getting close here to the end. Here we go.
Oh, and he's up against the final boss of this level. It's Roy
3?
Koopa.
Is that 3 hits?
That was 3 hits.
Oh, he takes one. Takes one to the chin. 4 hits. There it is.
4 hits. 4's the charm. And Dabu clears the first castle. He's done with the Sky World.
As a former player, now caster, what can you say about like your physical regimen going into this? How hard do you train going into this?
You don't eat, you don't sleep. You play Mario for 24 hours a day. And that means that coming into the competition, this is just another day at work. Nothing special, no nerves. And and I don't even know what world Dabu is on now, but
There's snow. And I don't see anyone else reaching flying boats, except at the upper right here,
Ooh.
Shocks. I think Shocks might be reaching some flying boats real soon.
Shock clears the stage now. So let's see. I think that means he cleared.
Well, not even close to flying boats.
Oh no, he's just getting more extra lives. So Shock. Oh, and he jumps right off the cliff. Okay. Well, Shocks is still farming extra lives. He's still stuck on the Sky Fortress. So he's now 3 full levels behind Dabu. 4, I guess, actually, because he's got the castle. Let's pull up Goose's stream for a second.
This is Goose. Don't be confused.
This is Goose's stream. I believe this is the fortress. Yep. He's small. He needs to kill these 4 Triceratops. Oh. If he had killed those, he would have been in great shape. He would have been in striking distance for Dabu, but instead, man, both Goose and Shocks, they're getting hung up on this fortress. And I don't remember if Dabu passed it on his first try or his second try, but he definitely passed it without difficulty.
Can we put up a text document to see, or for the rankings and where they are at the moment?
Oh,
Would that be tough?
I could maybe do that. I'm just gonna type in the chat.
Alright.
Well, I mean, if people understand English, they should be able to hear me, right? But okay.
I'm surprised with how these players are dealing so well with some of these. It's just all these monsters seem unpredictable.
No, I mean they don't follow any patterns.
No.
You just have to guess.
They don't follow logic. It's all about reading the eyes.
Ooh, and Dabu, chink in his armor there, he just jumps into the cold abyss. Okay, so he's in Iceland. That's the official name. And it looked like he cleared the first stage there. He's already on Iceland level 2.
Oh, going back in the mushroom. Gonna need that. There's another one.
It's going to pick up the... Ooh.
Oh.
It's not going to pick up the firepower. Didn't want it.
Didn't need it. Knows where you can get some more.
So up in the upper left, Goose is still on that fortress. And Shocks is also still on the fortress. I believe Sonic is on the level right before the fortress. Ooh. And Sonic dies again. Oh no, that's the first level. He got a game over.
He's way
Game
far
over number
behind.
2. Hey, but I mean, you know, we still have not even elapsed 1/3 of the time
That's
of
true.
this competition.
That's true.
And if Dabu gets a game over, all of this lead that he has literally evaporates into thin air. Literally evaporates into thin air.
He's got a tail. Dabu's got a tail right now.
Yeah.
That's strong.
I wanna bring one thing to our viewers' attention right now. You might have noticed Sonic in the bottom right not get all of the coins in that little bonus area. I think this might be indicative that he's sort of tilting a little bit. He's playing fast rather than solid in order to try to make up time, because no doubt he senses he's pretty far behind. And I mean, you know, he's just got to get it done if he's going to play like that. He's going to save a lot of time if he manages to play flawlessly, but otherwise the hole is just going to keep getting deeper.
I think this is Sonic's element. I think he's been holding back a little too much, and I think that he's really going to pick it up here. This is where he likes to play. This is where he's been known to play. He's about to get his foot on that gas pedal and just never lift up.
Never.
No.
Alright, so let's see. Up in the upper left, looks like Goose finished the Fortress, and when we were talking earlier, Shocks also finished the Fortress. Ooh, and Dabu's having some difficulty on Iceland level 2. He's down to 3 extra lives. So keep in mind, 3 extra lives. If he loses those, game over, back to level 1.
Goodbye.
His lead evaporates.
He knows he's got to keep that.
That's part of what makes this competition so exciting.
He makes sure to go back and get big before every level. He knows the value. And it looks like he's using his time to get some lives. Nope. He's just going to get that flying.
And Goose is flirting with disaster. He doesn't employ the same method that Shocks does. He's got 1 extra life, and he's just going for it on Skyworld level 5.
I mean, with Dabu losing so much time here trying to get those lives, he knows that maybe some careless play here can get him a lead. Maybe he can take some risks if he wants to try and grab that lead.
We'll see.
He knows that this competition comes around once a year, and he's not just going to let it go.
Hey, nobody's forgetting that each of them put up $20,000. Oh, and Shocks finishes another level. And with the difficulties Dabu has been having, looks like he's gaining on him.
Goose just fell through on an interesting play.
That's a game over for Goose. He's going to have to start over at level 1.
That's going to be tough. So Goose is going to be falling way behind here.
Yep. And just like that, we were talking about how Sonic was so far out of the running. Mm-hmm. Now he's actually in 3rd place.
There it is.
I think. Wait. Oh no.
You start somewhere else.
How did you start there?
Maybe a save or something?
Maybe after you clear the fortress, you get to start there.
Oh, maybe the chat knows.
Let's check the chat. I bet our audience knows better than we do.
Chat's not interested in this game.
Chat has moved on to better topics.
And continue at the fortress. Thanks, Bartz. That's alright, chat. You do what you want. You're great fans.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, so you're not as good as the live fans, certainly.
The live fans are riotous behind us.
Yeah, when Goose got that game over, I saw a chair go through a window.
And it was no ordinary window. It was no ordinary chair.
No.
Ooh, and it looks like Dabu dies again. He's only got 2 extra lives at this point.
He's making no ground on this ice world. He seems to be content with just having that first one, just trying to get something.
Hey, no trolling in the chat. No trolling. This is a serious competition. How's your water?
Delicious.
Any more?
Alright. Want to bring down some steak? Some of that steak that is provided to us by Steel Series?
Yeah, just give him the plug.
Alright. This tonight's steak is brought to us by our brothers. Steak Emporium. Alright, so back to the game here. We've got Sonic here in the bird world. Looks like he's with the geese, flying around. nice and high. We got Shocks up here, dangling around on some wires and stuff. Looking good, doing his thing. Now Goose and Shocks are in very similar spots. It's pretty close between those two.
Ooh, Dabu with only one extra life. What's he gonna do here?
Looks like he's in that ice world. Trying to make some headway here.
Ooh. Another death for Sonic. He's on Skyworld level 1.
I
He's gonna have to make up some ground.
called that Goose World on accident.
Huh?
I called that Goose World on accident.
Goose World?
Yeah.
More or less. There are tons of geese in it.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that Goose is struggling so much with Goose World, considering he is a goose and there are so many geese. I mean, you would think in his natural habitat he'd thrive.
It's those clipped web things.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he anticipated that he'd be returning to the sky so soon.
Also, probably they hold a grudge. They think, oh well, you're no goose.
All right.
You've got clipped feet.
Yep. The scarlet letter of geese.
Mm-hmm. What's the postage on a scarlet letter? Is that like 40 cents?
I mean, you just end it with an owl.
Oh yeah? You know, it seems like being a post owl is kind of a shit job. Because, I mean, where's the incentive? Where's the incentive to do your job well? I mean, you're just going to get beaten on by wizards if you don't. I guess that's the only incentive. I mean, the currency, you can't even, I mean, what do you get paid? You don't get paid anything. You're basically a slave. But it seems like those owls are like, you know, intelligent creatures.
Well, they definitely seem to be.
Because, like, they understand English, like, really well. I don't know.
I mean, it really comes down to the life of a house elf, too.
That's what I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Similar.
I don't know why they take it. They've got some crazy good magic that wizards can't even do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like, nah, I'm going to serve and I'm going to hate it.
I don't know. I mean, it's one thing to serve and to like it. But to serve and to hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll always remember that Dobby died a free elf.
Mm-hmm. He died?
I don't know anymore.
Did he die?
Oh yeah, he died.
Was it book 7?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Bellatrix, man. Threw that knife.
Through a knife?
Yeah. At least I haven't read book 7 recently, but in the movie, as they're apparating away, Bellatrix threw some knife, and it got into the apparition atmosphere shield thing, and it went with them and killed them.
Fucking hey. And big shout out to Ultimo Sock. He's our biggest fan. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Sonic has got one extra life. He's still struggling at the beginning of the Sky World. Looks like Shox is on the fortress.
Is he flying boats?
So he's, he's within striking distance here. I think his strategy of farming those extra lives and taking this one level at a time is really starting to show its yield. But still, I mean, if we look at the bottom left, Dabu is untouchable.
I mean, really the strategy of getting those lives is the mark of an unconfident player.
Yeah.
You know, the confident player is just going to be going straight for it.
And really the mark of Dabu right now is that he's just he's owning face.
Right.
He's just playing really well. It seems like Shox' strategy is to slowly farm up these lives and take it slowly but surely, whereas Dabu's strategy is just to be a badass.
Yeah.
To just play really well.
Right.
And that's what he's doing.
And it's really working not only in this game, but with the fans. I see women just taking their shirts off with words like Dabu and, Rockstar all over their titties.
And applied mathematics, PhDs.
Right.
He's got that P thing. Now what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to hit that P thing at the right time to change the blocks into coins so that he can pass through.
Oh,
he's got to do it. He's got to do it.
it's done. As a once player, now turned caster, when you would train and practice, did you play with the game sound, or would you have your own sort of pump-up music playing?
I always play. I just put thick earmuffs over my ears so I can't hear anything. It helps me focus. But everyone's different. So it looks like Goose is on Skyworld Stage 5. Shox, he's still on that castle. But I feel like he's confidently at that castle. Oh, and another game over for Sonic. Ooh.
Now, how is he going to bounce back? Is he going to be, the Sonic of old, or is he going to learn? Is he going to learn from his mistakes?
Nobody knows. Oh. Looks like Dabu made it just far enough. Is that the end of the level? Ooh, a little bit farther to go.
Gotta be getting close. Whoa!
Interesting, he's gotta grapple with two titans at the same time. They're flying.
Not sure what he can do about these guys yet.
They're flying. If there's nothing he can do, he should just give up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see just a GG.
Wow. But he's not going to give up that easily. Now look at that. That guy's flipped
Whoa!
like a madman.
Whoa! He got one.
And one was all he needed to get.
Yep.
Wow. What a performance.
That's all it takes.
That was the Ice Fortress, Adam.
Wow.
The
My
Ice
goodness.
Fortress.
He's gonna hit that mushroom house. See what he can find in there.
So Dabu is now going to advance to Ice World number 4. Nobody else has even made it to the Ice World yet. I think. Unless, is that the Ice World? Shox there? No. Not even close. Goose, however, looks like Goose is farming up those extra lives quite nicely. Alright. Sonic's still having a rough go of things down there. So we've now reached the 1 hour mark. In 30 minutes we're going to pause. Actually, I think we're going to pause in 20 minutes, then have a 20-minute half, and then have another 80 minutes. So that'll be 160 minutes of gameplay with 20 minutes break. That's 3 hours. That's legit.
Fair enough.
Because really, at this point, I mean, the competition is basically just watching Dabu and admiring his craft.
Right.
I know everyone's entertained, but at the same time, where's the competition in that?
And he really did want that bourgeois title, and he's really showing it. I think he if he can really keep this up and just keep demolishing his competition, I don't see how anyone can deny it.
그렇습니다.
Nay.
But I mean, let's not count anyone out. Okay, Shox, he's got the 1 extra life. He's at the castle. And he's going for it. He's not farming anything. That's, I don't know. He's abandoning his style. And I'm not sure his style of, farming extra lives nonstop. I'm not sure if this is a desperation play, or if this is one of those times where he senses the flow, and he just feels it. He's feeling it. On the other hand, we've got Goose in the upper left. He's on the same level with 6 extra lives. He's in great shape. However, Dabu is now 4 stages ahead of both of them.
With 3 lives. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's more than enough. Now, the crowds here live are showing their supports for their players just non-stop. As you people watching the stream, feel free to enter their streams, talk in their chats, give them some support, give them some anti-support, let them know that you hate them, let them know that you love them. They could really use some of that. They'll feed off of it.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna say, I was talking to Sonic earlier today about the competition, and we shared a few words, and he didn't want anyone to know this because he didn't want it to cast a shadow over the competition, but I think that given his performance so far, he would want people to know that last week Sonic's little sister, Deborah, was diagnosed with a terrible illness, and I think that's weighing heavily on his conscience right now as he's trying to play.
He's playing with a heavy heart.
He needs this money not for himself, not like all these other selfish competitors who are playing so that they can buy their extravagant, luxurious stuff. He's playing so that he can pay his little sister's medical bills. And I know that Jesus will be on his side.
I'm really surprised he's able to get out, turn on a computer, pick up that keyboard and really, play. I'm really surprised with how much heart he puts into this game and how hard he tries.
Yeah.
Etc.
Oh yeah. And it looks like here in the upper right we've got Shox, and he's grappling with Roy Koopa.
Oh!
Takes a fireball to the back of the head.
Whoa! Unpredictable. Random actions. Look at that.
Now, in case our viewers are unfamiliar with Roy Koopa, if you're on the ground when he lands, you get stunned for a brief duration. Oh, and he's got a...
Oh, there it is. That's huge.
Oh, one false step and he would have had a game over.
Yeah.
But instead, he perseveres. Finishes the castle. He's now onto the ice world. So it looks like Dabu's got 1 extra life. He's on to Ice World level 5. So he's still got a considerable buffer as far as how many stages ahead he is. One thing our viewers should know, as most of you will remember from last year, there was one level in particular that none of the competitors could figure out, and Sonic was actually stuck there for almost 3 hours on one level. And if a similar situation arises here, you know, we may very well see sort of a bottleneck effect where everyone kind of catches up to that one point. But we'll see. We don't know. That's one of the great characteristics of doing a blind run like this. Nobody really knows what to expect.
What I'd really like to see, I'd like to see Sonic really find his stride here as we go into the later parts of this competition. I'd really like to see him climb his way back into it and really just, you know, show some tenacity.
He's got to show that tenacity. Ooh. But that little spiky ball thing just showed why it's really tenacious.
We got Goose here. Looks like he's going to try and finish up a flying castle.
It's interesting in this game that the stage that you enter is clearly a castle, but the stage you end up dealing with is a ship, a flying ship, which is not the same as a castle. Separate but equal.
Separate but equal. Alright.
Let's check in with our fans here in the chat. Now we can see in the bottom left, Dabu knows where the extra life is in that castle, and so he's just farming it in order to risk-freely advance in the game. Let's check in with our fans here in the chat. Who's this guy spamming the chat? Who's PPP? I don't know who PPP is, but I'm going to ban him. I'm just going to ban the user. I'm going to give him a 24 hours ban, and I'm going to clear his messages.
Pulling pranks? Alright. So we have about 10 minutes before we go into our first break.
About 10 minutes, yep.
Alright. This is really going to come down to it. They're going to want to set themselves up in a good spot and be ready.
I'm going to pop into their room and let them know. Oh, okay. Looks like I'll just tell them. Ooh, slow.
We got some lag.
Hey, in 10 minutes, we're going to go for a 20-minute half, just so you guys know. So do a save state or whatever. I'll come back in and tell you the exact time.
Thank you, sir.
Shut up. Don't talk to us.
Don't talk to us. We didn't ask him to talk to us. I might have to restart my computer at half.
it's chugging.
Ugh. This is pretty bad, actually. And, oh, we know this guy. We're very familiar with the guys that stomp fire out of their feet.
It's an impressive talent.
Remember them from an hour ago.
Yep.
Shox clears another stage. He's doing just fine.
Now, viewers, make sure you stay tuned for the second half, because Razer has provided us with plenty of prizes, and there'll be some great drawings coming up. So make sure that you stick around.
Yeah, no, I'm personally a big fan of Razer products. My favorite is the Death Adder. Once I bought the Death Adder, I was so impressed with it, I bought another one just to put on display. I haven't found a place to display it yet, but I really want to display it.
Next to your first one's a good spot.
And also, we shouldn't mention any sponsor without mentioning the biggest sponsor of all. U.S. currency, $80,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
There's a lot on the line.
I mean, $80,000. You go to a McDonald's with that much, you can get about 80,000 things off the dollar menu, not accounting for tax.
Right.
But there's no tax on food.
Yeah. Just buy your food somewhere where there's no tax.
No tax. Now, Goose still... Okay, to check in with all the players, Goose is still on the Sky World Fortress. It looks like Shox is making some good progress into the Ice World. Dabu's still clearly very far ahead. I think he's on the final level of the Ice World before the fortress, or before the castle.
He's really hitting his stride here. He was farming lives for a little while back there before he really got started on this Ice World, but now that he's in it, he hasn't gone back. He hasn't been doing too much farming. He's just been, hitting that mushroom, going right back to the next level. Hit that mushroom, get big, go to the next level. He's got his foot on that gas pedal, and he does not want to let up.
It's interesting. Some people take shrooms to hallucinate as like a drug. Mario takes them as his only form of sustenance. I don't know what that says about him. I'll let you, the fans, decide.
Yeah, let's ask the fans.
Yeah, let's do a user poll right now. If you're watching the stream right now, let us know what you think about the drug commentary in Mario, where mushrooms are drugs. Please feel free to enter your thoughts into the chat.
My goodness. Got a lot of really good feedback here.
A lot of good feedback.
The live audience seems to think that, whatever we say is right, so...
Is the viewer count down there somewhere? It's like right here. Can't see it though. There it is. Oh! And I would like to announce that at this point we have achieved 500,000 viewers. And it was said, I had a chat with our sponsor, the CEO of Razer, and if we reach 1 million viewers, everybody in our viewing audience will receive a $20 Razer gift card.
Now, all of our players come from really, really good teams. You personally came from EG. A couple of them are from Team Liquid, some of them from Mouse. What do you think that team atmosphere does for your training and, helping you to get better at these sorts of games?
Well, it's important to train for competitions like these in a team environment, because then not only do you have people to bounce ideas off of and, troubleshoot techniques and such, but you've also got people to compete against on a day-to-day basis. And there's really no substitution for the raw feeling of actual competition. That's the best practice.
Absolutely. When you're the best and you play against the best are just going to get better.
Yeah. And I mean, English language doesn't have a comparative form for the superlative, bester than the best, but I think it would be something like bestest. So let's see. So Dabu's been playing this level with the snowflakes in it for a really long time. All of these snowflakes. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe he's having some difficulty here. I'm sure any of the viewers who have just been watching his stream
There it is.
Oh.
Alright. There we go, a little bit. A little leg spike.
Nah, not worried about it.
No.
Alright, so we've got Shocks in Iceland, Ice World level 2. And Goose is still on the Sky World Fortress. I believe Dabu he's on Ice World level 6 or yeah, he's on Ice World level 6.
Oh, look at Sonic here. Where's Sonic at? Is he at the fortress?
He is. He's at the Sky World Fortress, and he's got 6 extra lives. So like we were talking about before, he set himself up where if he picks up the momentum here and keeps with it, he's going to be soaring. That would have been a good phrase to describe Goose's progress, because he's a goose.
Right.
Ooh, and I'm going to have to moderate this chat quickly.
Coming.
Man, Goose has been on this fortress for a long time, the Sky World Castle. I wonder where the hang-up is. I wonder if he's just choosing not to beat it, or if it's actually defeating him.
I think he might be sort of just coasting into the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Just sort of, getting the reps in, getting in his touches, and and making sure he's gonna be ready for the next half. It's the equivalent of someone just sort of taking a knee at the end of the first half. Just, we'll get it next time.
Now I'm wondering, as all of our viewers know, Shocks, Dabu, and Sonic are all extremely white human beings. They're white.
Mm-hmm.
Goose is a goose, and so how do you feel as a panda that his Animalian competition suits him?
Hungry. Really, really hungry. I'm just really impressed that these players can compete at this level. Just no matter what they are. I know that I've struggled with platformers for a long time, mostly because of, my lack of...
You are an endangered species.
Yeah, my lack of other pandas. That's why I struggle.
Yeah.
And, what's really cool about watching this is it makes me excited to go home and try some of the strategies on my own, on my own Bamboo computer.
Bamboo computer, wow.
Yeah, provided by Razer.
Alright, and with that we're going to go to halftime. We're going to take a pause, and we're going to interview each of the players and we're going to get their feelings for how they think it's going so far. Alright, please pause your games right now. We're going to take a 20-minute halftime. I'm going to do brief player interviews with everyone one at a time. I'll drag you in. SSJ4 Sonic. So talk to me. How is this game going? Like, what's the issue?
I just came from work, and so the minute I came, I had to get ready and play. Like, I had no time to settle down and relax a little bit, to get my bearings straight, and so that really affected me. It made me choke the whole time. However, if you've noticed, I got my stride back and I'm flying through these stages. Second half is mine.
We did notice that you hit your stride, and also we saw that you hit your stride while you still had a lot of extra lives. So as you're powering through here, it seems like you're in good shape to make a serious run here in the second half. What do you have to say about the ice world?
I haven't actually been there, but I have heard of other players talk about it. They're struggling a little bit, or they're releasing their frustrations on it. So I'm excited. I've always been pretty good at the ice world.
So what's the atmosphere like in the player room? Are you guys talking to each other about the levels?
It's pretty friendly in there. I mean, you can still sense the competition between all four players, but we are kind of talking about certain stages that, you know, are tougher than others. If that's true.
How's your mentality going into this next half? You struggle at the beginning, you're hitting your stride. Where do you feel you are just in the general competition, and how are you going to approach this next half?
Well, I think that I'm going to go into it as the underdog, think myself coming up, you know, climbing a hill. I think the other players kind of have counted me out, and I think that's going to be their downfall, because I've hit my stride. I'm a lot more relaxed now that I know that I am last, so they're not going to be expecting me, and I'm going to just come really quickly. I know I'm pretty close to a few players.
You know, that's the mindset that all your fans love to hear, and
so I'm not worried that much.
Alright, well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for interviewing.
Oh, interview.
Goose, it's halftime.
Hey.
What are your thoughts on how the competition has gone so far for you, personally?
I'm doing alright. I struggled with a few levels, but it seems like I'm doing better than the person in last place, so that's always good. I'm having fun though.
Now, this is a winner-take-all competition, you know, so just doing better than the person who's in last place, that isn't going to get you anything unless you're the best. You know, if you ain't first, you're last.
I understand that, and so, you know, I'll really have to step it up, I suppose.
Now, we've seen you have some difficulty with the castle at the end of the Sky World. What's the problem here?
Alright, these flames that shoot out of the little cannons, there's like, even when they're going back into the cannon, they can still kill you, which is ridiculous.
So you're saying the flames are imba?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What did you think the first moment you saw the geese fly into the picture?
I immediately wanted to either befriend them or stomp on their faces. It's kind of weird.
Now, we postulated that you had difficulty with the geese at the very beginning. We thought that maybe they were furious with you for clipping your webbing out of the feet. They felt you were no longer a pure goose. Is there any truth to that?
I would imagine so. This game is actually made with this living artificial intelligence, and it can tell who is actually playing the game, and it can obviously tell that a goose that has webless feet is playing the game.
You know, and that's exactly why we picked this version. It was for that very reason.
Now, going into this this second half, what's your mentality? Where do you feel you are in the competition, and what are you going to do to take on the $80,000?
Well, here there's been a lot of gold farming going on, and I need to start doing that, and I need to make sure I take advantage of those toad houses and really just, I have to surpass Dabu. He's pretty far ahead, so I really got to just step it up. Maybe some trash talk will help to psych people out.
You know, I've known Dabu for about 10 years now, and if there's one thing I know about him, it's that trash talk will definitely get in his head. Alright, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Alrighty.
Go Shocks, my man with a plan. Talk to me on how the first half went for you.
Well, I had some moments of brilliance. Like, there was one point where our enemies coming from every direction, and I was Small Mario, and I dodged, like, all of them.
Yeah.
And I was really proud about that. But I've also had some... Oh, and also, I took on... Like, I've been farming a lot of the time, because I didn't want to die and then have to go all the way back. And then at one point, I was just like, alright, that's enough. And I went to the castle, Roy's ship, with 1 life left, and I braved it, dominated them. And I was really proud about that. But on the contrast, I've also had a lot of moments where I didn't play so hot, and I've died in very silly ways, and made a lot of rookie mistakes, and I really need to eliminate those.
It's interesting that you bring up farming. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily 100% sportsmanlike for me to say this, but when it comes to farming, you have literally farmed more than everybody else combined. And for what it's worth, it seems like, you're making a strong showing here. Do you think that the loss of time from farming is definitely worth the benefit?
It depends on how much confidence one has in their ability to complete levels with minimal deaths. Dabu has basically seen it all. I mean, he's pretty much like the resident expert at Mario in the sense that he has all the experience. Me, on the other hand, I've played Mario probably the least out of all the 4 competitors, so I don't have much faith in my ability to complete levels. I die in very silly ways, and it just happens, and it's just like a fact of life to me. So if I can farm and complete the levels, even with a lot of deaths, as long as the levels are getting completed, then I think that's a good sign. As long as I don't have game overs. I had like 3 game overs at the very start, and after that I was like, alright, I gotta start farming.
Now I'm sure you can hear some of the hundreds of thousands of live fans here. They go nuts with all your deaths, and they go crazy with all your great moves. What do you want to tell all your fans here? What do you want to tell them that you got lined up for the second half here?
Well, I've made a bunch of great moves, and I believe that's a sign of my true potential. You can only improve from where you're at in life. You can only get better as long as you're trying. You can make mistakes. We're not perfect. We're not robots. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. But as long as you understand why you made those mistakes, you understand what you can do to stop those mistakes, and you can only improve. So those moments of brilliance, that's going to slowly become 100% of my play. I'm going to start reducing those mistakes, and eventually my play is going to be 100% perfect with 0% mistakes involved.
That's impressive, and that's what your fans all want to hear. We hear some true wisdom beyond your years. How do you think you're going to close the gap here with Goose? I mean, not with Goose, sorry, with Dabu. Dabu, you think he's got a big leap. What are you going to do to catch up?
Dabu grew up in a culture where they simply think they're better than everybody else. So his arrogance is just inside of him. It's a part of him. And as Dabu gets ahead, let's face it, he's ahead of me right now. He's very far ahead. But Dabu is arrogant. So his arrogance is going to become his own worst enemy when he starts not giving his full effort and I catch up to him. And eventually it's going to get to the point where we're both on the same level and we're both riding the same cart, but my natural skill is just going to overtake Dabu and just crush him. and I'm going to end up being the 2011 Mario World Champion.
Fantastic. In one word, I want you to describe what your second half is going to be.
Let me think about that.
That's too many words.
Spectacular.
Thank you very much for the interview, Shocks.
I didn't hear anything you guys just said.
Get rid of them.
Lord of Dabu, the man who needs no introductions at this point, talk to us about how the first half went for you.
Well, the first half, it went poor by my standards, but it seems like I'm doing much better than my competitor.
No.
I mean, from what I understand, I'm pretty far ahead of where they are. And I've been giving them hints as I go along, like telling them where the hidden one-ups I found are and stuff, just to help them out. But it doesn't seem to be helping them out.
Now, we saw you get out to an early lead, and it's no secret, apparently, that you've never looked back. But everyone will remember from last year that Sonic was out to a very far lead. He never looked back, but there was someone on his footsteps. What do you think the actual possibility is that somebody comes and stops you?
Well, I think once I stop telling them where all the stuff is, it'll become much more difficult. I mean, sure, it's always possible. Last year it happened, and I think it could happen again this year, but I'm feeling pretty confident going into the second half.
Pretty confident. Well, alright. What is your stance on how many actual geese there were in the first few levels of the Skyward?
That was a little ridiculous. They clearly knew who one of our competitors was. I don't know how the person who made this ROM hack knew that, but clearly he did, because it was like tailor-made for him. But from what I understand, he hasn't been able to take advantage of it.
Finally, or actually I should say penultimately, we know it was let known by one of the commentators that that Sonic is playing tonight. All the money that he wins, should he win, he's going to be using that to pay his little sister's hospital bills. How do you feel being the person who right now seems to be the most likely to deprive his little sister of life-saving medicine?
Well, he shouldn't have gambled at all in a Mario competition when he knew who one of his competitors was.
Wow, those are cold words. Alright, finally, going into the second half here, in 2 words, describe your game plan.
Keep owning.
I like it. Thank you very much. So it looks like it's going okay now.
Yeah.
We got a few more minutes to kill. Let's get Tempest back up in here.
Tempest seems good.
Tempest, welcome back. Do you mind if we have a few words from the audience perspective?
No, go ahead.
Alright, Tempest, how do you feel, who do you think's gonna win?
Hold on, let me turn off the stream. Alright, say that again?
Who do you think's gonna win this competition?
Well, right now it looks like Dabu is in a really comfortable lead. But Shocks isn't too far behind, and Shocks is a very steady player, it seems. So it could be, it's still up for grabs. But I'm still sticking with Dabu.
Where do you see yourself as a player compared to these other players?
I don't practice as much as them, so I would say they were much better than me. And I didn't put $20,000 on the line.
Now we touched briefly towards the end of the first half about the aspect of the pro gaming houses and how each of these players lives in and practices with his pro gaming house every day and has been for the last few years. From an audience perspective, is it possible to relate to these players, or are these people simply badass new gods that you simply have to look on from afar and just marvel at their craft?
Oh, they're pretty badass. They've been putting their lives. They throw away their lives. They pretty much sacrifice everything, any interaction with people, and any chances of a normal life to be good at this game. So it's pretty badass to beat them.
High risk, high reward, you know.
High risk, high reward, you know. So, what do you think about now the audience? It seems like even though the TeamLiquid.net topic, the results for the poll for who would be the 2011 World Mario Champion, it was a landslide victory for Goose. It seems that here in the stream chat, Dabu has been receiving the most support, even before he was the clear favorite or the clear leader in the competition. It seemed like he was getting the most support. What's the atmosphere like in the chat?
Everyone's just loving Dabu's cockiness. Those chat talks that he's been doing has been, gaining him a lot of support. Just his character it's like his character is very popular.
He does have that charisma. It makes me think that, what if Blizzard had programmed those peons way back in the early days of Warcraft to say something other than
Oh, they should definitely take some inspiration from Mount Dabu. Warcraft 4 would have been the best game ever, or would be the best game ever if they do that.
You heard it right here from Tempest himself. Thank you very much.
Or it's not like the South Park where they all get testicular cancer so they can smoke pot. And then they never out of the balls like the bouncy balls.
Oh yeah, medical marijuana.
Yeah, that's basically what the Tanuki is.
All of our players, please get ready to resume.
I'm ready.
We're ready.
Ready. Hold up, I'm gonna need a sec. Watch continuing. I gotta restart for this.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, then we'll use this time to check in with the chat.
Okay, mine is restarted.
I just got back. What's going on?
We're about to restart.
So what do we do? Do we start from the beginning?
From the beginning.
Yes, you start from the beginning.
Starting one like that.
I think that's how it happened.
Okay, are you ready yet, Tabu?
Everything before halftime is just disregarding. So
Yeah, I'm ready. Whenever you guys are.
Alright,
Is everyone else
I'm ready.
so we...
Shock trade?
Yeah, are you ready, Shocks?
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
How long are we
Okay.
playing for? Is it an hour or an hour and a half?
We've now got 80 minutes left. That's 80 minutes to play. And everyone start your games in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, and the second half has begun.
Yeah, we actually got an influx of more live viewers, and they're all going nuts. We're up
It's
with
crazy.
600,000 live viewers right now.
It should be noted for all the fans who don't have a live image of the stadium right now that actually we've expanded into a second stadium within a stadium, and even in that one, fans are sitting on top of other fans' laps just for all of the extra seating.
Alright, so Dabu seems to know that he's got a real good lead. And I think it was Shocks talking about, just a cocky guy.
Uh-huh.
He's got that arrogance. Do you think that we're going to see maybe some of that playing here?
I mean, I don't want to take sides or name names, but I really think Dabu's untouchable.
Oh, alright.
And I think he's going to win this competition by well over 5 levels. But at the same time, I mean, who knows?
I mean, we know that Sonic is hitting his stride
Yeah.
right now. Right at the end of that first half, man, he was in the zone.
And he's playing for something above and beyond.
Yeah. I mean, there might be people out there in the audience who think they understand. They don't.
They don't.
They don't. No one does.
You never know until you actually know, and you just never actually know. So Goose did burst right out of half, slaying that castle. So he's now into the Ice World, same as Shocks. They're both on Ice World level 1. Dabu's still pretty far ahead of them, but I mean, no one's going to count them out. They're definitely within striking distance at this point. And Sonic, he's picked up a lot of momentum here. He's got the 6 extra lives. He hit his stride. Anyone who counts him out of the competition at this point is an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shocks knows he put in all that effort getting that economic lead at the in the first half.
Mhm.
He's really he knows he's going to utilize it here. He knows that this is his time to shine, and if he doesn't strike here, well, he might never strike.
And lightning never strikes twice on the same spot.
No.
So it's now or never.
Yeah, ipso facto. Flipsy flopsy.
Yep. And it looks like he does. He clears Ice World level 1.
It's a reinvigorated Shocks here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Shocks we haven't seen all night. Oh, well.
I mean, everyone knows that his number one, like the attribute of Ghost Shocks is that most people thought would be his biggest strength was his youth, his speed, his reflexes, and his reaction time. And he was able to showcase that early on, as he mentioned at halftime when he was little and there were all the flying dudes zipping around.
Oh yeah.
And he evaded all of them. But not having been faced with situations like that since, he hasn't been able to really play his trump card.
Yeah, as he was, navigating his way through all the zipping around guys, the audience just all took one collective inhale, which created nearly a hurricane. It was just tense.
Low pressure system.
Yeah. So, I mean, these players are right back at it. They know where their game plan is. If we could see it.
Technical issues here. Sponsored by Razer Gaming. For all your products.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, I would never play any game without a Razer mouse in my hand. I just wouldn't do it.
No. It would feel gross.
Suicide,
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, you might like another one better, another mouse.
But I would never actually use
Yeah, I
it.
never actually use it.
No.
Certainly not.
It'd be like a deep, dark secret I would keep in my closet.
Right. You wouldn't tell anyone.
No. I wouldn't even hypothetically talk about it on stream.
No.
Ever.
Now, Dabu's in these snow levels that I haven't seen anyone else be anywhere near yet. These insane snow levels. It's like there's snow flying around in space or something. And I mean, he's coming up against some obstacles and stuff that are really just daunting. And he's dominating. And, you know, what we learned in the interviews, he's been sort of giving tips, letting everyone know what's coming, what's up ahead. And I personally would kind of like to see that just fly right into his face.
I kind of want to see it do the exact opposite. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, he's been showcasing his skills all night. And to think that everybody else was keeping up with him only by virtue of him actually literally assisting them, I mean, that's really, that paints this competition in a whole new light.
I mean, he could be the banjo.
Dueling banjos.
The next coming. Oh. Get small.
Get big.
Get big.
Get jacked.
Dabu looks like he's just going in circles. Doesn't quite know which way to go.
This is reminiscent of the ghost house from last year. Ooh, maybe he did know where to go.
Oh, alright.
He's gonna get big. Oh, he's gonna get jacked. Now he's gonna go through the red doors. We're gonna make this big. We're gonna watch Dabu's clash with Lemmy Koopa.
Now don't get confused, audience. This is Dabu.
This is Dabu only.
Yep. He's small.
Oh! One false step, and that resets all of his progress from that level. He's gonna have to do it again.
He's gonna make sure to get big, get jacked here.
Gotta get big, gotta get jacked.
Alright, we're back to 4 players, audience.
So Dabu, it's important to note that that if such circumstances keep reoccurring, and I think it's possible because that boss fight looked really hard.
Yeah.
Lemmy Koopa is serious business. I mean, if he struggles time and again with that boss fight, that's just opening the door for everybody else to come back. And up in the upper right, Shox clears another stage.
Yep.
He's on to Ice World number 3. Oh, and this is big. Now that Shox has cleared the Mushroom House in World 3, it's going to save him a lot of time getting big, getting jacked, before going into every succeeding stage.
He'll have to make sure to utilize that. He can't get careless.
No.
There's no room for that, no time for that. Take it to me.
Dabu really is a cocky son of a gun. Look at him just walking. He's just waltzing through this ice fortress, slaughtering innocent children.
Whoa.
That's horrible.
Careful.
Oh, and we see in the upper left, we've got Goose replaying this castle that gave him such grief earlier. Probably just to farm the extra life that's up here. And yep, he's going to get the extra life and then quit. So staying true to his word from his halftime speech. He's making significant use of the farming aspect of this competition.
You know, the flip side of that coin, though, you know, rather than having to farm, you could just be good.
Yeah, you could just be really good.
Yeah.
And just beat the levels. Ooh, and in the upper right, Shox is devoured with only 1 life. That's a game over for Shox.
He was the hope for a lot of people. Let's see if he can bounce back.
And so he starts with 5 lives at Ice World level 1. Look at that, he knows exactly where the power-up is.
Woo!
Let's check the chat here. Oh wow. The view count staggering 250,000.
My goodness.
I can't believe that the live stream servers can support this kind of bandwidth.
Now all this coverage is brought to you with no commercials, thanks to McDonald's. McDonald's providing all of us with sweet tea.
You know, recently I was driving down a deserted highway road in Wisconsin, United States, and I saw a sign for McDonald's that said over 99 billion served. And I know for a fact that there are fewer than 7 billion people living on Earth. So that really, really impressed me. Because I don't know where they found the other 63 billion beings and served them. But not only did they find them, but they served them McDonald's. That's a level of class. Ooh.
I mean, dead people.
Sonic dies again.
I think that we might even reach that many viewers tonight.
Over 99 billion?
Over 99 billion.
We can't count it out. I mean, we have the view count only for those people tuning in directly on live stream.
Right.
Oh. And what is this? It looks like Dabu cleared the Ice Castle Fortress.
My goodness.
Castle. So he's now into the jungle world. Level 1.
We're stuck a little bit.
Well, it's interesting. You can be stuck and moving forward. I mean, if you're stuck in the mud, but the mud is on a wagon that's moving forward, you're stuck, but you're moving forward.
All right, I can see that.
Now, a big facet of clearing a castle like Dabu has. Now he's on the 3rd world. If he gets a game over, it's just going to start him at the beginning of this world. But he did clear the jungle world level 1 with no trouble.
Dabu is now underground in the caves.
Probably the music is something like dana 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 dana. Ooh, he picks up the red coin.
Dana dana dana.
Doodly doo 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 doodly doo 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 doo. Something like that.
Something similar. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of off the top of my head. Kind of just composing on the fly.
Whoa! Careful! Careful! Oh, he has loses. Firepower there. Dabu, that is, lower left. Whoa! Man. This game is throwing everything it can at Dabu right now. And Dabu's just having no problem with it.
It's like the oldest story when the Titans were fighting the gods, and Zeus ate them all. He just ate them all.
Yeah.
And he was full for a while until he got hungry again. Then he had to eat more.
If Dabu were a quarterback, his quarterback rating would be well over 9,000 at this point. He's firing on all cylinders. It's like he knows what's coming. Always.
Is being a precog? It seems that in order for Dabu to advance farther on this level, he's going to have to take this trampoline back. Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
He clears another stage.
Yeah. He's got like 100% completion percentage right here. The guy won't go down. We got Goose right now farming, really utilizing that really easy to grab life. You know, it sort of makes you wonder whether he found that on his own or not.
Probably he didn't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to say it's okay for him to farm like that, because being a goose and being raised on a farm, as he undoubtedly was, he's really just embracing his natural habitat.
Yeah. We got coin farming over here from Shocks.
That's Sonic.
Oh.
Sonic is farming coins.
Oh.
Way back on that first level. Alright. It's now 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern, 10:30 Mountain, 9:30 Pacific. And that means we've entered the lightning round. This round is sponsored by TotalPunishmentGaming.com.
The player's clearly dealing well with lightning round. Looks like they haven't been bothered by it yet.
There's no actual lightning in the lightning round, but it's still the lightning round nonetheless.
Yep.
Oh. Looks like Sonic's a little here. He really needs to pass this stage if he wants to get a handle in this comp.
Oh. And this is where that physical training really comes into play. You're gonna start feeling gassed. You're gonna start feeling hungry. You're gonna start feeling tired.
Give me you're sick. You're poor.
Right.
You're weak.
Exactly.
You're tired, you're disgusting.
You know, and if you're prepared, if you're ready with that mentality, ready to move on, ready to just get through it, you're really going to be successful. But if you're not ready, you're going to flounder.
You're going to flinder?
You're going to flinder. We've all been there. We've all flindered.
Now, if we look at the top left and the top right, we see that, as has been the case for a good part of this competition, Shocks and Goose are neck and neck.
Yep.
And it would be really exciting, except Dabu is so far ahead of them. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, Shocks just game over, which is tough.
It's very tough.
And Goose just got eaten. Also tough.
But it seems that if they could get something going here, they could really get something going, because Dabu is wasting a lot of time here just farming lives. Actually, I'm not even sure it's live. Oh, it is lives he's farming. Oh, that's really easy.
That's a really easy one that Dabu's found here. I could see him being on this for 10, 20 minutes, ending up with like 40 lives. Interesting.
Now, this really shows how it's like in a race where a big stretch of the race is downhill. Now, if you get off to an early lead and you hit that downhill stretch first, you just fly down the hill.
Yeah.
And your lead extends and extends and extends. And that's pretty much similar to what's happening here with Dabu, where he got so far ahead, and now that he is that far ahead, with that easy extra life that he can farm, his lead is just increasing and increasing and increasing.
Now, some of these other players here can take advantage of this. They might not know that he's farming right now, but they could take some risks, really try and, get caught up.
I mean, yeah, because farming for extra lives is one way to spend your time, but also you could just be really good.
Yeah.
And you could just play through the levels and beat them without dying.
Yeah.
And that's a lot faster. A lot faster way to play.
When I hear people talk about, it's a micro and a macro game, all I can think is, well, you could just be good. You could just be good. Let's check in with that chat. See what they've got to say.
What's going on in the chat? Let's see here.
Good. There we go.
Let's give some shout-outs. Shout-outs to people in the chat. I definitely want to give a shout-out to Ultimo Sock, my half-brother. It really means a lot to me that you would tune in to watch this competition all the way from your tour in Iraq. And God bless America.
Absolutely.
Bless our troops. Hope you make it home safe.
K-Matt.
Big shout out to K-Matt.
Absolutely. K-Matt, we've known K-Matt for years.
Many years.
I remember when I used to go grocery shopping with him or her at the Old Cup Foods down in Andover. And he always found the best deals, always let me know when I was getting ripped off. And I always appreciated that from her.
Do you need water?
Yeah, I go for some water. Alright, and we got some more shout-outs coming on. The BSers, the BSBers. That's where it all got started. That's where, we all learned how to game together, and a lot of old times. Alright, well, let's get back to this competition. We got Goose over here farming away. He wants to make sure he's always stocked up on lives. Dabu having a little bit of trouble consistently making sure he's all big, he's all jacked. The crowd here is restless. The crowd is restless. They're going nuts. Alright. So now we got Goose, who's gone back to playing the game. He's done farming. He's going to go back to playing and hopefully not making mistakes.
There's something that you might not know. We sell frozen cookie dough.
So you know.
La da da oh. So let's see here. So Goose is on the Ice Fortress. Shocks is on the Ice World. Sonic, he's hanging in there.
Not sure what Shocks is going to do about this little section here. He's a little bit stuck. And, you know, those fish fly by and they'll eat you.
They will eat you.
There we go, you got it.
That's pure intuition right there.
Yeah, and those are the problem-solving skills that really got him to this competition in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, he sees a problem, and he's like, bring it on. I cannot wait to solve this problem. And it's that attitude that makes you a better player always.
Speaking of what got our players into this competition, Dabu, of course, as the reigning champion, was seeded into the World Championships again.
Right.
But the other three players had to go through an extensive elimination tournament format bracket championship qualifier in order to make it to this competition today.
A lot of different games were played.
As someone who competed in that competition yourself, is there anything you want to tell us about the rigors of that competition and how it prepared them for this final?
Absolutely. The toughest part for me was the Rorschach test, the ink blots. I studied for a long time just to make sure that I'd be prepared for those. And even going into the competition after hours and hours of looking at different ink blots, I still wasn't confident after the competition, but I was selected once, and you know, my career as a player sort of took a back seat when I went back to school, and sort of went to the casting game.
Well, everyone remembers. I mean, I'm not gonna parallel you to day 9, but everyone remembers all the great performances you gave us in the World Cyber Games Mario competitions throughout the 2000s.
Right.
But with you pursuing your PhD in biochemistry while working 2 full-time jobs to support your little sisters on the side, it's really noble that you would even spend this much time just to commentate with us.
And to be honest, it's the least I can do. Just in life. I mean, I could be doing more, but it's the least.
Some of us think you should be doing more.
Yeah.
I'm not naming names.
No, certainly not.
And that's really what it's all about, you know, making people happy.
Right. And not sleeping.
Not sleeping. No one sleeps.
That's important. So looks like we got we got Sonic on flying ships.
He's flying around.
Yep.
It's important to note that it's important to note that if he doesn't win the competition, he will have lost it. So he's really going to want to do his best to win. Oh, and he doesn't know about the extra life.
So, the only player here who can lose is Dabu, I feel. The other player here who can win is everyone else.
Right. Well, I mean, that's really the catch-22. When you're on top, there's nowhere to go but down. And when you're on the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. So really, no matter what, whether you're winning or losing, you can't win or lose.
Never.
Oh, did you hear about Betty? Betty Spaghetti. She's got real cool hair. And that concludes the lightning round. We got Shots here in the upper right, making pretty good progress on this fortress. He needs the firepower in order to get to that extra life, but he doesn't have it.
It's been a great competition, but I sometimes wonder what it would be like if we ever saw like past the ice levels on for everyone else.
Yeah.
Just what would happen?
I don't know. It'd be more. I don't want to say more exciting, but it wouldn't be less exciting.
There's still time. There's still.
We got a game over from Sonic.
Oh no.
Goose dies, and Dabu's flying through another level without difficulty.
Want to max that screen for a little bit? We'll just watch Dabu play.
I don't know. I mean, that would definitely be the greatest display of Mario, but at the same time, I want to be able to see the comebacks as they happen and not hear about them after.
Yep. Dabu's through. Oh,
that's shrewd play right there.
Yep.
Dabu clears another course. Let's see where that puts him exactly, because we know he's ahead, but we don't know by how much. Oof.
Getting jacked.
Getting big, getting jacked. It's one thing that the viewers might not know about this year's competition is that performance-enhancing drugs are legal.
Oh.
There's no testing for them, and to be honest, if you don't use them, you're a fool.
Is this a ghost house?
This is the first ghost house of this year's competition. Now, last year, the first person who made it to the ghost house ended up the runner-up.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but you're just saying.
Look at that blue flame of power. It's literally sucking the life right out of him. Now, one thing to note about this ghost house, and specifically Dabu's encounter with it right now, is that he does have the experience of last year's ghost house, which I'm sure he's got stored away inside that massive brain of his. He knows exactly what he's dealing with. Here in the upper right, looks like Shox is saying, hey, why don't you hold your horses there?
Yeah, you've got life.
A lot of time left in this competition. A lot of time.
He's got life.
He found life. 2 eyes, alive. Shox is putting on a display here. Ooh! Oh!
Woo! There it is. Getting big.
Not getting jacked.
Not getting jacked.
Doesn't want to get jacked.
Not yet. The time will come someday for jacking. The time is not here. Interesting. Taking the time to read up, doing the studying.
You know, scholars are some of the most learned people in our society, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
Well, let's check the time. It's 11:46 p.m. Central Time. That's 12:46 Eastern Time, 10:46 Mountain, 9:46 Pacific. And if you live in a different time zone, I'm sure you're used to calculating your own time based on International Standard Time. We got Dabu lugging around a gigantic key inside the ghost house. And he can use the key to open the lock.
Mm-hmm.
And once he opens the lock will no longer be locking what it was locking, because he will have opened it with the key.
I always wonder, like, how not useful it is to have a key that large.
Well, I've always heard the bigger the key, the better the lock.
Okay. I've never heard that. Well, that explains it.
I mean, we fly in different flocks.
Absolutely.
Oh! It looks like, so Sonic, everyone saw that Sonic he hit his stride, coming, like, right towards the end of the first half, going into the second half. And it seems like that stride has evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
He has not finished the Sky Castle yet.
No.
So he is about a world and a half behind Dabu. I mean, we all know that Dabu right now is kind of the gold standard against which all the other competitors are being judged. But one thing to note is that he's not actually golden.
Now, it looks like Dabu's training has really done him well. This ghost house isn't posing him too much of a threat so far. He's been doing alright.
Well, the nice thing about the ghost house is that you actually have to figure them out. It's
Mm-hmm.
not as simple as just walking from one end of the stage to the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a thinking man's game as much as it is an action man's game. And until he figures out how to pass it, he's not going to be able to unless he gets lucky.
Okay.
But he just died.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in Mario, dying means you got unlucky, but that's not always the case. But what is the case is that, just like last year, he's at the ghost house and he's stuck. He's been on the ghost house for a long time now, longer than he's been stuck on any other level.
He's been doing really well on other levels. This is the first time we've seen him sort of struggle, I guess, in a while.
It's like he's faltering a little bit. And
these other players need to pick it up.
And I think they are. I think they are. Goose, for example, even though he just died, it looks like he's on Iceland level 4. So he's flying. He's flying in formation, but he's flying with the butterflies inside of Dabu's stomach right now.
Yeah. As Dabu devours his opponents.
Yeah. And let's see. So Shax is on the same level that Goose was just on, so that's Ice World level 4. So they're both about 6 or 7 levels behind Dabu. Now, that being said, there's still 40 minutes left of this competition.
Okay.
I'm not going to call it a comeback right now, but there's definitely plenty of time for there to be a comeback. And I'm also not going to count out Sonic.
Oh, wow. Dabu just runs right off the edge.
Well, it's important to note that even though you have direct control over the Mario on the screen, if he's really depressed and he wants to walk off that ledge, sometimes you can't stop him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to talk him down. Sometimes you can't. Let's check the time. It's 11:51 Central Time. That's 12:51 Eastern, 10:51 Mountain, 9:51 Pacific.
want the old Chatsky?
Sue's having the old Chatsky. Ooh. I forgot to make one rule clear in the chat. I'll make it clear now. No trolling.
It's interesting to watch Dabu struggle here. It's like he plays a lot of his levels with like just brute strength.
Yep.
Just power through it. Just going based on, just reaction time, which is superior to most of the players, but now it's turning into that thinking man's game that you're talking about. Now they have to start using his brain. And I wonder if maybe this is a place where some of the people can make up some time.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, that's true. But also, it's not true in the same... Well, I mean, it's true, but it's not true. And it's true in the sense that it's true, but in the sense that it's not true, it's not. So, ooh. Dabu dies again. I mean, honestly, we just saw Goose clear this level. He's only got a few levels left in order to catch up to Dabu.
Mm-hmm.
And the rate that Dabu passed the Jungle World, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy fast. And I gotta think, even though Dabu's clearly proven himself as the man to beat in this competition, he's probably not that much better than anyone else, at least in terms of raw level clearing abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So if he doesn't get a move on in this ghost house, I think the Goose could probably clear the Jungle World very quickly and catch up to him.
Now you know that in the player room, Dabu's not going to be giving any hints about this ghost level.
Not like the first half.
No.
Well, I'm not even convinced he knows how to beat the ghost level yet. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I mean, we're watching him problem solve as we speak. Jumping into that ghost. Oh, he didn't jump into the ghost.
Well, he's been in this room time and again. And in this room there's a switch, and when you hit the switch, things happen, and then there are doors you can go into.
Yeah.
Nobody's really sure what any of that does. Dabu definitely doesn't know, or he would have just beaten it by now. Shocks gets a game over. It's interesting, most people, game overs are setbacks for them, but for Shocks, game overs seem to only fuel the rage. He just plays better with every game over. And I think the fact that he's getting game overs means that clearly he's not farming anymore. He thinks that he needs to be making desperation calls in desperate times.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely true.
I think what happened is, like, he was in the middle of farming, and then he said, wait, I'll just play better.
Play better.
I'll just play better. And sometimes that works for him, sometimes it doesn't.
It hasn't worked so far. He got the game over.
Yeah.
He tried to just play better. It turns out he couldn't.
Check this out. Maybe if I give me him some hints. And I don't want to check that.
Dabu clear the ghost house?
I think he went back.
Oh, yeah, Dabu's farming extra lives.
Yeah, he has to. No choice at this point.
He's still, this is clearly the level he's had the most difficulty with. This is exactly reminiscent of last year.
It doesn't seem like a good idea to be the first one to the ghost house. You never want to be the first one to the ghost house.
No. And, I'm getting word from the programming house in South Korea. It sounds like Slayer's Boxer has joined the competition.
Oh.
But there's an issue getting his live stream working properly, so I'm not going to be able to show you his play, but
Probably has blue flame.
he's starting from the level 1 right now, and I heard he already cleared it, and he's moving on to level 2, so I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, let us know how that goes, because I'd be interested to see him, because we all know that he can produce a magic.
He can produce a magic like no other.
Yeah. His magic that he's produced and no one's ever seen. Let's check in with the chat.
Let's check the chat.
See what the chat has to say about this.
Let's get some shout outs here. I want to give a shout out to Triptych, who's been a big voice in this chat all night, and I really appreciate that, even though I don't like any of the things he's saying. Ooh, chatting on Dabu's page is where it's at. Let's check in with the chat on Dabu's stream.
Boring.
No one wants That's the worst chat I've ever seen.
But go ahead and keep talking there if you want. Hey.
Ooh, we got some sensor bypass from Ultimo Sock. I'm gonna have to punish that.
Yeah.
That's a 5-minute ban. Please don't bypass the sensors.
Oh, you want a shout out?
I would give this player a shout out, but his name is just a bunch of nonsense characters.
Right. So nonsense character player. You know, you're new to my group of friends, but I feel like I've known you my entire life. I remember back to the days when we used to play hover golf, and you know,
I remember those days.
Yeah. The hover golfing was difficult, and you were always able to beat me, but I learned so much playing with you, and so I'll never forget those times.
That were the times, man. And we got a shout out to Severity Gaming. Not sure what that is, but go Severity Gaming, okay.
Oh, Slayer's Box is now on World 6.
He overtook Sonic in 5 minutes. Well, he is Korean.
Yeah. We're not sure yet whether or not he's qualified to win the money.
Let's check the time. It's 11:59 and 41 seconds.
How long does this go?
We got a half hour left.
Half hour, guys. No problem.
And I hate to keep beating a dead horse. Literally over and over and over. Just
beating
massacring this dead horse into a pulp. But Dabu is still on that ghost house.
Yeah, that ghost house.
And
it looks like he's done this same thing a bunch.
At this point, it's obvious he has no idea what he's doing.
This area is different than what I've seen. You got a banana. He's got 8 lives.
Well, the little moon was a +3 lives.
Wow.
I believe.
That's a lot of lives. Too many lives.
But, I mean, what are extra lives going to do for him at this point?
Yeah.
Because extra lives aren't going to solve the ghost house for him. That's the real issue.
Oh, the crowd.
the live crowd here at the stadium is going bazonkers.
Yeah, they're just restless. Absolutely restless.
They want blood tonight.
Alright, Dabu with a key.
He's got the key. I think that's going to let him open the locked door in that room with the locked door. There's that room that has the locked door. Yeah, there it is.
Alright, he's in there.
He opens the locked door.
Alright, there's some... Whoa, maniac guys.
Oh.
Careful.
It looks like you can go from one wall to the other wall. Oh,
wow. Okay.
Oh, he says hello. He says hello.
That looks like hacks, but it's not, I assure you. Wow.
Oh, he's got to live. He's got to live.
Whoa. Ooh, we gotta get up there.
Oh, those things can jump. They're serious about this.
Wow, Dabu. You know,
is he going to clear the ghost house?
As far as just, you know, physical play, Dabu's unmatched. But let's see if people can beat his mental play.
If he clears this ghost house, he will have cleared the ghost house. And at that point, I don't know if there's going to be any catching him. Because if Dabu is stuck on the ghost house for half an hour, I know I would be stuck on it for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even the best of the best competitors would be stuck on it for a while.
Yeah.
Also, it might be worth pointing out to the viewers at this point who haven't been with us for the whole show that Dabu, should he clear this ghost house, he will be more than one entire world ahead of everybody else. And I don't even know if it's physically possible for any human to catch up at this point.
Well, we have a goose in the competition.
We do have a goose in the competition. Also, Dabu's going to have to slay this big boo using these blue blocks without using so many that he falls through one of the holes that he is going to inevitably create.
He moves so fast. And Dabu clears it.
He clears it. Dabu has cleared the ghost house.
He's got to be feeling good about that. Going into this last half hour, he's got to be feeling good about clearing that ghost house.
He's got to be feeling very good about clearing that ghost house. Last year, the ghost house was the bane of Sonic, and this year, it was the salvation of man. Let's check the time. It's 12:03 a.m.
The witching hour.
This is the witching hour. That's 1:03 a.m. Eastern Time, 11:03 Mountain Time, 10:03 Pacific Time. And this just in, that is 2:02 p.m. Korea time.
Wow. And so, this isn't even a bad time for Boxer. No, Boxer's feeling comfortable, feeling good. He got to wake up, have his morning coffee.
Coffee and kimchi.
Yeah, coffee and kimchi. Checking with the chat.
Boxer starts every morning with coffee and kimchi. Ooh. We've got some people spamming the chat with other time zones.
Dabu can hear us. That's what Triptych is saying. How do... whatever.
I mean, he can hear us, but can he really listen? Ooh, and Dabu's suicidal attack on the Green Hammer Brothers lizard proves fatal, as so often suicidal attacks do prove themselves to be such. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
Man, if I see some ice, or see a level that doesn't have ice from some of these other screens,
that'd be cool.
I'd get excited, but then I'd realize...
Well, I mean, we do have Sonic on the level that has no ice, but unfortunately that's because he hasn't reached the ice world yet. But, I mean, all of these players, they come into a competition like this with a game plan, and generally if you stick to the game plan you win. So I gotta wonder right now, has everything that's transpired simply been playing into Sonic's clutches and he's about to dazzle us with something? It's possible.
I mean, he's been playing around on those flying boats for a really long time.
He has been playing around on the flying boats for a really long time.
I think what was even more surprising is that I'm not sure that he's found that life yet.
He still might not know about the extra life. We'll see we'll see eventually if he knows about the extra life. There's a lot of snow going around at the top of the screen.
Yep.
A lot of snow.
They like to be at similar places.
I want to say at this point, the battle for second place getting a third of the prize pool. What's a third of 80,000? Like about 15,000. Second place, as everyone knows, gets about a third of the prize pool, which is about $15,000. And I feel like the race for second place now is really the most exciting aspect of this competition. Goose and Sharks are neck and neck, and Goose clears the stage. Course clear. And he's at the Iceland Castle. You know, the only other player to reach the Iceland Castle was Dabu, and he is leading this competition.
Wow.
I'm not gonna
Coincidence?
draw too many similarities between the two players at this point, but that's a pretty similar aspect. Ooh, we've got Ultimo Sock ruining the chat. Why McDonald's not does delivery? This is clearly the language of a known troll. That seems like pretty good English to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree. And that was a 24-hour ban.
So there was sort of a trolling battle going on between Triptych and Ultimo Sock. We know who the victor is.
The victor is definitely Triptych.
Yeah. Do you want to start commentating on the on the audience chat?
At this point, I don't know, a little bit too much flaunting the ban. I don't know, rubbing in his face. That's low class, Triptych. Very low class. And it looks like Deadlift popped into the commentator's booth to let me know that a third of 80,000 is just about 15,000. I do appreciate that confirmation.
Deadlift, would you like a cookie before you leave? No? Alright.
I'm gonna eat this cookie myself.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sweet Martha's Cookies.
Yeah.
Sponsoring the competition. All of our competitors ate nothing but cookies for the past two days in preparation.
True gamer fashion.
Shox dies again. That's okay, because he loves death. He says, bring it on.
You know, it's really exciting watching Dabu stream, just seeing stuff like waterfalls. Now we're in true jungles, centipedes, you know, music block mazes.
I respect the foliage.
Yeah. Some designer put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah. And Sonic clears the level. Hooray.
Good for him.
That puts him in about striking distance of Dabu, I would say. With a sniper rifle. Dabu clears the stage. And it looks like Goose is on the Ice World Castle. So he's definitely within striking distance of Dabu. But he's having some difficulty. Ooh, Dabu's swimming now. Nice relaxing dip in the lake. Now we see shots, he's tiny. And he's, he dies. Which, it's an interesting choice. He chooses to die there instead of choosing to beat the level. And with only 17 minutes left in this competition, I gotta wonder if that's really the best choice. But then again, he's the competitor, not me. So Dabu finds a pipe that he can't go down. This means he's probably going to reason that it's something up from which he could come. So now maybe he'll be searching for secret tunnels and bonus stages.
He needs those. It's going to be important.
I mean, if your lead is significant, but it's not substantial, there's always room to improve. He's got the P switch, which is going to let him, somehow that lets him swim much more quickly.
Ooh!
And there it is. Has Dabu completed another level? He has. Dabu is now officially 456 stages ahead of the second place competitor, which is Goose, who is on the Ice World Castle. But it's important to note that even though there's only 15 minutes left in this competition, Goose is still in striking distance.
Alright.
I mean, if Dabu falters here and gets a few game overs, and if Goose really puts the Jets into overdrive, I mean, who knows? We could have a match here. Alright. So, Dabu's in Ludwig's castle now. We're just gonna watch Dabu for a while. Because everybody else is not doing that well. And this is the only thing that's new and fresh and exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, he eats a fireball. Interesting choice. So he grabs the trampoline. He knows he's going to have to use it earlier in the level. Oh.
Wow.
Look at that. He loves death.
Alright. Got that P.
Ooh, he's got a book. He's got a book. Oh, just in the nick of time.
Yep. Ooh! You felt it.
Dazzling.
He sees those big blocks just lined up there. Doesn't trust them.
It's a chip off the old block.
Yep, doesn't trust them. There it is. True.
Right now, I feel like I gotta ask myself, is Dabu playing the 2011 World Mario Championships, or is he just doing a speed run of this game? Because I feel like this is literally the fastest that any of these levels could be completed.
So, Dabu is among the greats of, Mario competition. I'm reminded when I watch him play of the latest season of Survivor with Rob.
Boston Rob.
Yeah, Boston Rob playing that perfect game. Had everyone just wrapped around his finger. Had members of the jury talking about how great he was. Just ridiculous. And I just think, Dabu's having just the perfect game right now. Guy's unbeatable, untouchable. He hasn't died in years.
He's got nowhere to go but down.
No.
That's exactly what you're trying to say,
Right.
and I agree. Oh, and look at that, just like that, the Wizard Koopa metamorphs the question mark into a Koopa.
That guy's really just not playing fair.
Look at that. He's shooting geometry at Dabu, and it's interesting that as an applied mathematics PhD candidate, he's having such difficulty with the geometry. Oh, couple big red double doors.
Yep.
Here we go. It's Ludwig.
Getting big, getting jacked.
Ludwig.
Time's here.
Ludwig van Koopa.
That's 4 hits. 5. Dabu's not impressed. Dabu's not
He was
impressed.
bored slaying Ludwig.
Oh. Sonic's on the ship level? That's
And Sonic's in the Ice World Castle. Skyworld Castle. Skyworld Castle. And Goose is on the Ice World Castle. And Smeeshox is on Ice World level 6. That's exactly where the three of them have been for the last 45 minutes. Which, it puts them all in striking distance, but with only 11 minutes left in this competition, the sights on those sniper rifles are really starting to fog up.
And you should see the live audience. They're restless. They're flipping cars. They know this competition's getting close.
It's heating up.
Let's check in with the chat.
Oh, and Sonic decides to run off the platform. And looks like Sonic's going to give another crack at the Skyworld Castle. This would be his, I don't have the official count, but approximately 49th crack at the castle. And this, as the saying goes, the 49th crack is the charm. And the crowd here is going absolutely bazonkers. It's 12:21. a.m. Central Time. That's 1:21 Eastern Time, 11:21 Mountain Time, 10:21 Pacific Time.
The witching hour.
Means we've got 9 minutes left in this competition. Dabu has a slight lead, but Goose and Shocks are both within striking distance. And Sonic's... I think the dramatic storyline of this competition for the remainder of the time is, will Sonic be able to finish this castle? He's got 8 minutes to do it. Everyone at home is cheering for him. I personally think he's got it in the bag. But
struggling.
If the past is any indication of the future, he has no chance. But David Hume would probably say it's not. At least not cosmotorially. And if we look at the bottom left, it looks like Dabu cleared another level. He is the only one of our competitors to clear a level in the past 45 minutes.
I feel like we're being trolled now.
Let's focus in here on Sonic and see if he can clear this castle. Oh, some daring maneuvers from the little Mario. He slays the Sniffet. He's got to be careful for the flames here. Flames hurt.
Yep, and they are still in existence on their way back in.
Ooh, he chooses to touch one of the flames, and that results in instant death.
Hopefully he learns from this mistake.
Oh, and Shocks clears the stage. This puts him at the Ice World Fortress. He's now tied with Goose. And I feel like now this is anyone's game. Dabu here in the bottom left, he's got to make quick moves here, and he does.
What would really revamp this competition, I think, is if the power went out at Dabu's.
Well, one thing that the fans might not know, we haven't touched on it yet, but this competition we originally scheduled for last Saturday.
Okay.
But per Dabu's request, it was rescheduled for tonight because he was having hurricane difficulties.
Oh, okay.
And I gotta think, if the competition had gone on as planned, would we be seeing a different result tonight? I think the answer is yes.
Well, we can't count on a hurricane for this night. There could be a hurricane.
Hurricane is the great equalizer in Mario competitions. Ooh. Shocks dies. Alright. With 5 minutes left in the competition, this might be the last crack that Sonic has at the Sky World Fortress. I know all the viewers at home are cheering for him. And I really think he's going to make it this time. He's got the tail still this deep into the level. In fact, I almost want to say that he can't lose.
Oh.
Alright, he forfeits the tail. It's sort of a gambit. He sacrificed it for a tactical advantage. Ooh. He takes a hit from one of the bombs. Now he's little. We've seen him at this exact stage countless times. Is he going to try to eat the fire one more time? Don't try to eat the fire. It's not edible. Looks like he's got a hold on his appetite this time. And he makes it to the final boss.
Getting big.
He gets
Getting
big.
jacked.
He gets jacked. Here we go.
This is it. This is the one.
Let's see if he can slay Roy. Roy Koopa. Alright. He forfeits his jackedness. He's little. One more hit and he'll die. Oh! And he takes out Roy Koopa. He finally clears the Sky Castle.
Now he's in striking distance.
He's onto the ice world. He's in striking distance. But with only 3 minutes left, and with Dabu several worlds ahead of him, he's going to have to really play fast to make up some ground. And if we go to Shax's stream, it looks like he got a game over in the ice world, and he's back. Whereas Goose, he's still at the Ice World Fortress, and with 2 minutes left in the competition, if he clears it, he will be in striking distance to make a run at Dabu.
It's heating up. This competition's really getting good now.
It's really starting to heat up. Anything can happen in these last few minutes.
Yep.
Ooh, and Dabu takes a tumble straight down the endless bottom pit of hell. Look, he's in hell.
I believe hell means you lose.
Well, it looks like Dabu's not too concerned. He's backtracking. He's backtracking through lots of worlds the other players haven't seen. Literally several full worlds that they have not seen to get some power-ups before advancing farther. And I gotta think that spending so much time, so much valuable time on something that's not advancing him in the game at all, I don't know how this is going to play out for him in the final few seconds here. And we've got Goose. Goose, he's at the Ice World boss. If he's able to slay him, he'll be within striking distance. Oh, and he does it. But time is up. That's the end of the competition.
Oh, we have a winner!
Alright, the time is up. Competition's over. Please pause your games. We only have time to interview the winner, but I encourage everyone else to post your thoughts on the thread at teamliquid.net. Lord of Dabu, the winner's interview. It's been more than 365 days since the last World Mario Championships, and for the first time in history, we have a repeat champion. What's going through your mind right now?
That was too easy. I need some real competition. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm thankful to everyone who came out and watched tonight. It was a lot of fun. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope they enjoyed the commentary. I hope they enjoyed the stream. I stream all the time on my stream, livestream.com/Dabu, so come watch me sometime.
A quick note about the second half there. We noticed you were having some difficulties with the ghost house, and we predicted that it was possible to have an exact recurrence of what happened last year. But in the end, you were able to solve the ghost house and move past it. How did that feel when you finally finished the ghost house?
Well, I was glad it was done, because those are always frustrating levels. Did anyone else even make it to the ghost house?
Nope. At the very end, Goose finished the Ice World castle.
I don't think
that was second place.
I was like a full world and a half. I guess we should, I guess if anyone's watching thinks they can do better, to keep in mind and try and qualify for next year's Mario World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, the qualifying tournament is rigorous, but if you think you've got what it takes, everyone thinks that you should enter. Also, it's been rumored that you'll be accepting King of the Hill style challenges for your World Championship title. Is this true?
Oh, absolutely. I'll play anyone anytime. I'm always up for challenges.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. The 2011 World Mario Champion, Lord of Dabu. Everyone here in the stadium is going nuts. Everyone at home, please give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to move everyone else up so we can hear their thoughts?
Okay. And now let's hear from some of the other players. Goose, right at the end of the competition, you finally triumphed and you beat the Ice Castle. How does it feel knowing in the final few seconds you were able to clutch like Chris Webber?
It feels good. That castle was an extreme pain in the ass.
They didn't give you enough time for that castle. That's my thoughts on it.
I was suffering from post-frustration syndrome. Like, that game was so frustrating. Oh my god.
It really was. I agree with that. I mean, the first time I got to the boss of that castle, I had like 20 seconds left or 30 seconds or something absolutely ridiculous. They definitely don't give you enough time to fully explore that castle. I'm a little sad no one else made it to 7-3, where they had this ridiculous jump that I died on my third time. It was really embarrassing.
I'm sad I got smoked so bad by
Similarly to Goose's triumph at the Ice Castle at the end, Sonic, who was doing battle with the Sky Castle for about half an hour leading up to the end of the competition, he also managed to slay Roy Koopa and advance. How did it feel to finally overcome that hurdle?
Humble. It was just unfortunate I could never really get in my rhythm. I thought I could. There was a moment when I did get in a good rhythm, but I just choked. No. It felt good though, getting past that world.
We were all cheering for you. So Shox, towards the end of the competition, it became clear that the real contest was going to be your head-to-head duel with Goose for second place and a third of the prize pool, about $15,000. You pulled neck and neck with him at the end, but he was able to. You got a game over, and he was able to finish off the Ice Castle. What kind of taste does this leave in your mouth?
Well, the game over was the me just not playing smart, and I got my fire flower and stuff, so I could break the ice blocks to get that 3-1 up at the start of the level. That started 6-6, but then I just forgot about it and died at the start of the castle. So, obviously, the winner gets a free entry into the next year's championship, while the rest of us have to go back into qualifiers, but I just need to keep up in shape, and I need to work on certain things for next year. My micro this year wasn't very good. Specific control relating to, especially the ice world. I need to work on my ice world levels, just get better at those as a whole. I think if I do that, I can make a strong showing next year, especially, the qualifiers. I think I can do really well there, and then come to championships, and then make a pretty good showing for myself and my team.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lord of Dabu, 2-time World Mario Champion, defends his title in a landslide victory.
I'd like to thank Snow for doing all the commentating, and I'd like to thank McDonald for sponsoring some of this tournament. They got Snow for us. Check out their smoothies, I hear they're pretty good.
Can anybody tell me what happened to Boxer, the 5th competitor? How's he doing?
I got a text message from his manager that the after effects of Hurricane Irene actually disrupted his internet connection, and he had to withdraw.
Okay.
Yeah, but once again, let's thank our sponsors, Razer, for donating all those products to all of our viewers.
Yep, Steel Series, and the Death Adder. Yep.
And McDonald's, of course, over 99 billion served. We don't even know how that's possible, but we're impressed nonetheless.
Thank you, sponsors.
Good game, Dabu.
I would also like to thank the sponsor for my team, Walmart. I don't know if you guys want to thank your team sponsor.
I would just like to thank all my friends who came out, spent the night watching me play. I'd like to thank Team Liquid for watching. I'd like to thank the Board Ape on Game Packs for watching, and anyone else who happened to watch. You guys were great. I appreciate it.
And I would like... Sorry, go ahead, Goose.
Oh, Blue Links too. I didn't give them a shit. You guys deserve a win as well.
I'm going to send the money to your PayPal account, okay?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it'll get to you eventually.
You want to say anything?
No. I expect it to be here tonight. What are you talking about?
Tonight!
Don't hold out on me.
Then, for all of our sponsors...
I see Sonic ran away as soon as it was time to pay up.
For all of our sponsors, all the competitors, for everyone at TeamLiquid.net, the official sponsors, we'd like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in, because without the ad revenue generated by your views, none of this would have been possible. So thanks for your support, and definitely stay tuned for future World Mario Championships.
We'll see you on 2012.